Joining me for tonight's telecast, former Syracuse Blazer and a real driving force in bringing hockey back to Syracuse, Brian Elwell. How gratifying is this evening for you personally?
Well, this is nothing like I thought, Doug. When we tried to get a hockey teamer for so many years, I thought it'd be great to just see a puck drop there and the season open up, but only how, I mean, it's here. Not only that, Doug, we searched long and hard after Howard came along as to which team we should pursue in the NHL. And there was never a doubt that Vancouver, unlike a lot of NHL clubs, are committed to building from within. They believe in taking their young players and grooming them in their farm system. And that was important, you know, like the New York Islanders would have this year only 8 or 10 players of this caliber under contract. Vancouver sent us 20 of them. It's wonderful.
How about the team that's assembled here in Syracuse? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, my thoughts are, I don't know if there's an American League team this year starting with 14 rookies on the squad. So you may see some jitters here that you might not see with a few more veterans, but they do have a couple of veterans here who hopefully can settle the young kids down, and it'll take a couple of games for them to find their legs and get rid of the nerves, but it's a good team.
Coach Jack McElhargy has said that the key word for this team is focus. There's a lot of hullabaloo going on this evening. There's a hockey game to be played.
Focus and desire, Doug. If you're a product of McElhargy, there's no quit in you. He was a tough-nosed, good, hard hockey player, and that's what he expects from his boys, and he'll get it.
Just as the Syracuse team is young, the Albany team is a real veteran squad.
They're a veteran, but, you know, we've got on this team, like Vancouver said, we've got some shooters and some scorers. And if who scores the most goals, that win. And if these young guys can put the puck in the net a few times, those veterans will get a little shook up.
You see the Syracuse Crunch hockey team introduced with all the spotlights. Now Coach McElhargy has been introduced as well. Fourth-year head coach. He says this is a young team, but a fast skating team.
Fast skating team, and they can shoot the puck. And we've got some pretty good scorers, as some of our fans will see tonight. There's a lot of kids here, 40, 50 goal men, who might be able to score 30 goals in this league, which will be wonderful for us.
What can you say about the fan support here in Syracuse, Brian?
You know, just all the hype from the time we announced this to the time we unveiled the logo right up to tonight. These fans were more ready for hockey in Syracuse than even I thought they were, Doug. The response, season tickets, we're nearly hitting 3,000 here, which is, we're already, I think, number 2 or number 3 in the American Hockey League. This is a 70% walk-in league, so it'll tell you something about the crowds we can expect.
A look at the Albany River Rats as they take the ice, and let's go down to the ice to meet some of the players.
First of all, Director of Player Personnel, Mike Penny, and the General Manager of the Vancouver Canucks, George McPhee. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in 1980, a group of young men won the hearts of all America, along with the words, "Do you believe in miracles?" They captured Olympic gold in hockey. Watch the TV screens. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, one of America's greatest moments in sports history was goalie Jim Craig wearing an American flag that a fan brought to him on the ice. That fan was from Syracuse, New York, and that fan is here tonight as the Vice President of Sales for the Crunch. His name, Mr. Peter Capacilli. please welcome Peter to the ice with the very same flag that draped Jim Craig's shoulders in the victorious gold medal lap at the 1980 Olympics. And now with the flag in center ice, ladies and gentlemen, and our color guard in place, please welcome a very special guest who's traveled all the way from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., to sing our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tiffany Countess. Tiffany Countess, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars were the perilous fight. All around we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets proved another bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing, does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
You're watching Syracuse Crunch Hockey on Central New York 9. We are live from the Onondaga County War Memorial, where Riddick Bowe, outstanding boxer, has just been introduced to the multitudes. Gordie Howe, Hockey Hall of Famer, has just spoken, and we are going to have the ceremonial puck drop coming up momentarily.
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
Let's go down to the ice.
County Executive Nicholas Pirro will drop the first puck at center ice with the legendary Gordie Howe and the former and future champion Riddick Bowe.
Riddick's ever been on a surface like this.
was electrifying.
Boy, you know, I don't think we could ever have expected to see anything like this, Doug. I think only Howard Dolgan, I guess, could bring it, like I said before, to this level. He's done some kind of job with opening ceremonies. If we can just have this kind of hockey continue tonight, we're in for a heck of a game.
Let's review some of the outstanding personnel. Who are some of the folks that we'll be watching here this evening, beginning with Mike Fountain in goal?
Well, of course, Mike Fountain's coming out of Vancouver, highest on their list, their #1 prospect. We're going to see great goaltending. Even the backup, Doug, I'm excited about seeing this young kid that they've got for a backup.
McNaka, Sonny McNaka.
McNaka is a kid that they kept saying was too small all the way through junior, but boy, he's really come up big here. I didn't expect him to make this club when he came out. I thought he was the #3 man, but he's a backup goalie.
Fountain played in 1 game during the preseason. He lost to Albany 7-6, had 18 saves, played in the American Hockey League with Hamilton, had 4 shutouts, 70 games, 34 wins, 28 losses, and 6 ties, and a 3.61 goals against average. The goaltender for the Albany River Rats, Mike Dunham, a U.S. Olympian, and played with Binghamton. We have a capacity crowd on hand at the War Memorial for the opening of the 1994-95 American Hockey League season. And in the stands, we have Tim Fox to capture some of the flavor of the evening. How does it look from your angle, Tim?
It looks mighty fine, Doug. I'll tell you, the 6,500 fans in these stands, each one of them was given one of these Crunch Time towels to wave this evening. A lot of them have already bought their paraphernalia. One of the big sellers tonight for $2, the inaugural edition of the Crunch Times program. Joining me now is Dave McKenney from Syracuse. Now, you remember some of the old teams like the Blazers and the Firebirds. What do you think on a night like this?
Oh, boy, it's an exciting night. I used to come back when I was a kid to watch the Blazers. Now I can bring my own kids to watch hockey again here in town.
Is it going to make it?
Oh, I believe it is. It's a first-class organization. You can show by the turnout tonight. I think it's going to be great for the town, and I hope they're here a long time.
This is one of the hottest tickets in Syracuse in a long, long time. Joining me now, Steve Zapko of Utica. What do you think about it? You guys had the Devils. What can we expect from the AHL?
We miss it in Utica. That's all we can say. We miss American Hockey League in Utica. This is great action. We want it back. I'll travel 50, 70, 100 miles just to see this kind of hockey. It's exciting, very exciting.
Electricity in the crowd. Doug and Brian.
Do you want me to mention the possibility of tomorrow night ESPN? This team?
Well, the game is in progress. There's no smoking in the War Memorial. Smokers may exit the arena to smoke outside. Please produce your ticket stubs to re-enter the building.
Adrian O'Coin is out there for the Syracuse Crunch. Loney, Brian Loney, number 17, is on the ice along with O'Coin and Tremblay. Gerard also out there, along with John Nemesnikov on defense. Gerard and Ralston at center ice. And we're set for the opening faceoff. Ralston and Gerard. The puck is dropped, and hockey has returned to Syracuse. Puck shot into the Albany zone. Loney in back, in front for Tremblay. He can't handle it. O'Coin throws it in, now shoots it wide to the far side. Loney has it, far boards. He's watched by Ralston. Gerard brings it out to O'Coin near the blue line, and here come the Albany River Rats. They get it out of the zone with Helmer. Big chuck there at center ice. And we have a whistle and a stoppage of play.
First offside, Doug, as hockey fans here know. No one can be in the zone before that puck crosses the blue line, so we got an offside.
Nationwide Insurance and your local Nationwide agent, proud to sponsor the Crunch and bring hockey back to Syracuse. Line change, puck shot in to the Syracuse zone. Walker behind the net to the far side, and Bahanas out to center ice, taken back by the River Rats. Fountain stops behind the net. Walker circles, gets it off to Watton, and Watton up the far boards, dumps it to center ice. Hulse for Albany misplays the puck, and Breland has it back in the Albany zone. Out to center ice, taken by Syracuse. Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov, the near side, looks down low for Bahanas in the turn of the boards. Breland breaks it up. Now the Crunch has it in front. Shot just wide. Comes to the near side. Walker keeps it in and plays it to the turn of the boards. Stevens hit by Hulse. Stevens now controls the puck, and Breland comes away with it. Out to center ice, and the Crunch swarming all over the ice.
Boy, I tell you, these kids are skating great here in early going, Doug.
Two trademarks of this team, young and fast. Far sidelines. Stevens dumps it wide. Jackson, who just got the call down from Vancouver due to the lockout, can't handle the puck, and it's shot into the Syracuse zone. They're going to wave off icing. Walker starts out of the zone. Out of Jackson. He plays it up. Getting a stick on it. It's Kessa. And the River Rats break out. Ruckty into the Syracuse zone, mishandles the puck, and Tully comes away with it. We have a whistle.
Had a delayed offside there, Doug. It took a minute to get the linesman to blow the whistle.
17:45 remaining in the first period. No score. The Crunch and the River Rats from the War Memorial in Syracuse.
I think what you'll see here tonight, Doug, by the jitters, you'll see a lot of players out of position here tonight. They'll start wandering around the ice, but they'll settle down after half a period.
Darryl Philippek now on defense along with Brent Tully. Here's a shot saved by Fountain. A whistling drive from the near side. Shot by Ralston, but Fountain was up to it. Crunch knocked the puck into the Albany zone, and we have an icing. You're watching Syracuse Crunch Hockey on Central New York 9. Sent for the faceoff in the Crunch zone, back to the point. Here's a shot deflected to the near side. Pellerin tries to center, can't do it. He's bodied by Philippek for the Crunch. Now Syracuse is able to break out. Tremblay on the left side. Tremblay tries to center in front of Tully. It's deflected away. Stoyanov can't handle it, and here comes Ralston. 2-on-1 for Albany. Ralston in front, and a ball. The puck gets by Vukovic, and Syracuse has it the other way. Dunham drops it off to Dean, and Dean will work out from behind the net. Out to center ice. Crunch control. Stevens in the near side. Puts it on goal, kicked out by Dunham, and we've got a whistle. And a slash call.
We got our first penalty of the season, Doug, a slashing call, and I think it's against the River Rats. Certainly excites the Syracuse crowd.
Armstrong, 2 minutes for slashing. There's a look at it in the deep slot. Just before the shot put on goal, that Dunham kicked out. So the Crunch come with their power play unit.
This is going to be good to see because they've got some good young players here. O'Coin out there with Stevens.
Mesnikov and Kuznetsov. Out to the point. O'Coin plays it to the far boards. Stevens dumps it down low.
2 minutes for slashing at 3:30 of the first period.
O'Coin at the point. Slap shot. Deflected just wide by Stevens. Kuznetsov behind the net. Controls for the Crunch. Out to O'Coin. O'Coin lets another one go. Wrist shot. Deflected in front by Kuznetsov, but Dunham makes the stop. River Rats can't clear. Here's a shot.
All right.
Lonnie Bahanas.
Tremendous shot. Tremendous slap shot right from the...
Watch the shot by Bahanas. Slap shot just over the left shoulder of Mike Dunham and into the net, and the Crunch lead 1-0. That's a power play goal.
That power play was well played right from the beginning. They threw the puck around like they're supposed to. Everyone playing their position. That was impressive for this early. Might mention this new sound system in the warm oil. Pretty powerful.
Now Dubé on the face-off. Puck shot into the Albany zone by Mark Watton. Played behind the net. Now to the near side. In front, Jackson couldn't get a stick on it. Now Kessa controls behind the net. And the River Rats try to clear. And they're having trouble clearing their own zone from the swarming Syracuse team. Jackson at center ice. Tries to drop it off. Kessa has it. He wheels at center ice. Around Ruckty, over the blue line, bumps into Dubé, and there's a whistle and an offsides call. Now Ruckty and Walker getting into it on the near side, but it's broken up. .403 of the first period. Lonnie Bahanas. First goal for the Syracuse Crunch.
I think these Albany River Rats are seeing a little different team than the one that we fielded here on Sunday night. I think the Crunch were tired after the Binghamton Road game when they came back here to play the River Rats. A different team tonight.
Breland and Dubé on the face-off, and the puck goes into the Albany zone. Dunham stops, drops for Kevin Dean. Forecheck by Dubé. Dean works it out to center ice. Watton will catch up to it in the Syracuse zone. Gets it out to center ice where Dean collects and shoots it back in. Walker to center ice. Breland pokes it away. Now Dane Jackson, he loses it. Dean circles and dumps it over. Helmer tries to play it into the zone. Now does. Behind Mike Fountain. Breland dumps it back in. Armstrong controls the Breland. Broken up by Watton, who was checking Breland on the side of the crease. Now Dubé breaks out. Yannick Dubé to center ice. Dumps it into the Albany zone. And there's a line change for the Crunch. Tully to Girard to Loney. Loney gets it into Tremblay. Tremblay in front. Girard couldn't get a stick on it. Philippek dumped into the slot. And Pellerin has it now for Albany. Girard intercepts at center ice. Girard 2-on-2. Girard checked brilliantly by Holtz. And the puck goes into the corner. Big hit by Loney. At the point, shot broken up in front, and Pellerin breaks out now for Albany. Shot wide. Fountain got the blocker on it. Pellerin goes down on the ice, puck right in front. Slips through the crease. Pellerin near boards. McAlpine shoots. Stop. Pellerin rebound. Broken up. Girard goes for it. Pellerin hits the ice. Ralston shot. And that's broken up by Philippek. But Albany pinning the Crunch in the zone. Right in front. Knocked away by Fountain. And cleared beyond the blue line.
Crunch got to get a line change here, Doug. Here we go. Line change now.
McAlpine in the zone. Broken up by Kuznetsov. Came beyond the line. Delayed offsides. Here come the Crunch. Kuznetsov near side. Pass in the slot to Stevens. Broken up. And here come the River Rats. McAlpine loses possession. Ruckty pushes the puck with his hand. Bahanas to Dubé in the zone. Dubé was knocked off his skates. Puck cleared out to the blue line. Here's a shot in front, just wide. Crunch have it. In front shot. Stevens stopped by Dunham. O'Coin keeps it inside the zone. Ruckty got a shin on it, and it deflects out to center ice, and now we have a tie-up. 12:06 remaining in the first period. 1-0 Syracuse Crunch. The Crunch lead the Albany River Rats 1-0. A power play goal by Lonnie Bahanas at 4:03 of the first period. Jackson, Dubé, and Kessa the line for the Crunch. Puck comes out to center ice, and Armstrong breaks in on Fountain. Puck knocked away by Kessa, who was back checking on the play. Kessa out to center ice and Dubé, and it's broken up. Nemesnikov works the puck into the zone, and Armstrong looks to break out for Albany. He dumps it into the far sideboards right out in front. And Kurt Renya, unable to get a stick on it. Now Coyne looks to clear on the near side. Dubé to center ice. Into the Albany zone, broken up by Brad Bombardier. Bombardier to center ice. He dumps it back into the Syracuse zone. Ralston chases. Gets it back. Looking for Pellerin in front. He goes down. And the puck comes free. Here's a 2-on-2. Working on the far side was Stoyanov, but he was bodied off the play. And now we have a whistle and a penalty. Your local Honda dealers are proud to sponsor the Syracuse Crunch.
I think play got a little ragged there for a shift or two, Doug. The kids are working out the bugs, but still exciting play. I think we missed that penalty down there as the Crunch entered the zone.
Stoyanov got hit, and I think he took offense to it, and he retaliated. So Stoyanov has been detected for a penalty. 2 minutes. It's a roughing penalty.
Here's the play now, Doug.
Right there.
They both had their sticks a little high.
Well, he was hit earlier by Helmer and then roughed him. Now back in the zone. Hulse. Hulse behind the net. McAlpine gets it out to Breland. Ryan. Power play for Albany. Renier behind the net. Armstrong, and puck comes out to the blue line and out of the zone. McAlpine has it now for Albany. Tremblay, Jackson, Walker, and Tully on the ice, killing the penalty for the Crunch. Puck to Walker, and Walker clears it down the ice.
We haven't seen much of our penalty killing units, but there's a quick change. 4 players doing a good job.
Midway through the first period, 1-0 in favor of the Crunch. Power play for Albany, and we have 1 minute remaining in that. Dean to center ice. Ralston looking for Pellerin. Broken up by Philippek. Clear to the near boards. Unable to keep it in is Helmer, and here come the Crunch. Jackson across the blue line. Wrist shot wide, goes into the corner. He's taken out of the play by Dean. Now Helmer dishes to the near side. Ralston to center ice. Over the blue line for the Crunch. Now Pellerin shoots. High shot. Glove save by Mike Fountain. And there's a stoppage of play. By Fountain. Dean to the far side. That's Pellerin. 2 seconds, 1 second. The penalty is over. Pellerin behind the net. Ralston. Face-off circle. Scores! Might have been screened.
I think he was screened, Doug, but they were just getting back into position, returning to full strength. I don't think that Mike Fountain was ready for that shot. Came from a tough angle and just hit one of his pads and dribbled in between his legs.
Here's the replay. And it squirted through. So it's a 1-1 hockey game with 8:49 remaining in the first period. Ryan Ralston's first goal of the season. Ralston was a U.S. Olympian. and played it in Albany last year. So it's a 1-1 hockey game. It was not a power play goal. The penalty to Stoyanov had expired. Now we're back to action. Girard out to center ice, and we have a whistle and another stoppage of play. And we've got another penalty coming up, and this time looks like a hooking call against Albany. You're listening to Syracuse Crunch Hockey on Central New York 9. A $17 million renovation program has made the Onondaga County War Memorial a hockey paradise. And here's Armstrong now. Armstrong breaks out. Walker hustling back on defense. Breaks up the play. Kuznetsov pass to the far side. And that's Watton. Stevens now will look to pass the puck to Walker. Walker to Bahanas. Played in the corner. Deflects away from Bahanas and is cleared off the surface. We have 8 minutes remaining in the first period. Nationwide Insurance and your local Nationwide agent are proud to sponsor the Crunch and bring hockey back to Syracuse.
It seems like Syracuse has spent a lot more time in the River Rat zone. The shots are surprising that the Crunch are being outshot 6-5 at this point in the game. It seems like they had a lot more shots. I guess a few went wide.
1-1 the score. Dubé back to Watton. Shot stopped by Dunham, and the River Rats clear into the Syracuse zone. Not icing, did not cross the goal line, the other end of the rink. Now Walker out to Jackson. Jackson with Kessa across the blue line. Jackson behind the net, looks to center out, drops for Kessa. Watton comes up to pin the play in. Jackson gets it knocked free. Helmer clears the far side. Still in the zone, and the puck is caught up in somebody's equipment.
You're seeing a pretty good hockey player in Jackson, who spent 25 games with Vancouver last year, so he's probably got as much NHL experience as anyone on the ice, and he's showing it.
Yannick Dubé is out there at center. Out of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, he played 64 games last year, 66 goals, 75 assists, 141 points to lead all scorers. And in 21 playoff games, he had 12 goals and 18 assists for 30 points. A 5th round draft pick in the '94 entry draft, and he really can fly. Kessa, Dubé, and Jackson, the forward line. Aucoin and Nemesnikov on the defense. Nemesnikov shoots it in, deflected away by Dunham. Played in the corner and out of the zone. Aucoin goes deep for the Crunch. 1-1 game. 13 minutes in. Puck off the skate of Kessa. Nemesnikov goes for it, and Aucoin breaks it up. River Rats now in possession, and they dump it to center ice. Jackson over the blue line to Dubé. Dubé tries to get it back to Jackson, and it's cleared out of the zone. Icing waved off. Aucoin has it. Nemesnikov on the near sidelines. Looks to pass it up to Dubé, but he was in a line change. Girard now on. Nemesnikov plays it out to center ice. 6:30 remaining in the first period. A 1-1 hockey game. Crunch and River Rats. Nemesnikov, stick check by Rayom. Roney tries to play the puck, gets it out to center ice, and Kessa. Kessa right wing into the zone. Bombardier to beat. Kessa behind the net, looks to center in front, broken up, and here come the River Rats.
Several line changes going on here. I think the River Rats are trying to match up. That could have been Syracuse's best line with Kessa out there, and I think the Albany coach knows it.
Malcock to Breland, and Breland at center ice with Armstrong. Breland into the zone around Tully. Can't get by. Tully rides him hard into the boards. Puck centered out. Here come the Crunch 3-on-3. Trombley dumps it into the far corner. Girard skates for it with Hulse, and Hulse bodies him off the play. Now out to center ice and over the stick of Syracuse's Alex Stoyanov. Back behind the net. Filipek has it, and there's a whistle and a penalty.
Just can't do that, Doug. A little interference or holding there. This is some of the things we'll see with the young rookies as they learn. Tully knows on that one, but he just didn't want to let him loose by himself.
So Tully with the holding penalty.
The play happens right out in front of the net where Tully just grabs a hold of the River Rats player and holds him until he falls. The referee skating right over the blue line couldn't miss that one.
That comes at 14:37.
A lot of excited hockey fans in here tonight. They haven't seen hockey this type for 14 years. It's exciting even up here in the broadcast booth.
Ralston back to Helmer. Helmer at the blue line. Shot high and wide. Ralston tries to play the puck. Dane Jackson tries to break it up, and we've got a whistle and a stoppage of play. 5:11 remaining in the first period. Syracuse Crunch 1 and the Albany River Rats 1.
I was watching a young man come out with those pucks tonight. He must have had 50 in a pail there of frozen pucks. So I guess they expect a few to jump over the boards tonight.
Loney, Watton, Jackson, and Walker, the penalty killers, in front of goalie Mike Fountain. Ralston gets it out to the point. Dean, far side. Ralston right in front, deflected in. It looked like Mike Vakonich got a piece of that puck.
Vakonich was standing right by himself in front of that. He slipped behind the Crunch defense, and no one picked him up. Again, Mike Fountain just wasn't ready for this shot. He just spun around. It was right at his feet. Here he sneaks in behind the Crunch, just deflects it right in between Mike's legs. Now, that's an unfortunate goal, Doug. Just a mistake there.
2-1 Albany. Now we have a little action.
Here we go. Now the linesmen will stand apart from these two fighters until they fall. No one else is allowed to join in here. They can swing as long as they want. As soon as one player touches the ice or they're in a lock holding each other, then we'll get it stopped.
This is Simpson and Stoyanov.
I think the referee will call for this to be broken up if they hang on too long. They get punching again. That's it. It's over.
Now Stoyanov is 6'4", 230. There's Alec. We're going to take a break. You're watching Syracuse Crunch Hockey on Central New York 9. Simpson and Stoyanov will each get 5-minute majors for fighting, and they head to their respective dressing rooms with 4:51 remaining in the first period. Albany leads 2-1. Watton dumps it into the zone. Bombardier out to center ice. Rayom. Now to Watton. And the Crunch try to clear. Bahanas watched it go to center ice, and there's a stoppage of play.
Looking at an ice surface here that's been put in brand new to the tune of about $1 million. And so far the Syracuse Crunch players think the ice is great. We'll have to talk to some of the Albany players between the first and second periods and see what they think of the surface.
Can't say enough about the transformation of the War Memorial.
Just looks wonderful.
Kuznetsov to Stevens across the Albany line, and the River Rats Bombardier out to Aliwa. Watton back for Syracuse. Sides are even. Bombardier dumps it in right on Fountain, and he covers up. Now Aliwa charges into Syracuse defenseman, and they're getting a little feisty.
Again, we saw an example of a Albany player sneaking in behind the Crunch defense, and I'm sure Coach McElhargy won't be happy with some of those mistakes. It's also up to the goaltender Fountain at that point if anybody sneaks in behind to alert his defenseman. This here you'll see a lot. You get a little pushing and shoving when the players get anywhere near the goaltender. It's up to the defenseman to push that player clear of them, and the opposing team usually don't like it, so you get the pushing and shoving.
Well, Walker gave a little shot to Rayom, and then Oliwa came over, and he did the same to Walker, and Oliwa and Walker are going to the penalty box. Both getting 2-minute liners. We have 4:19 remaining in the first period. Doug Logan along with Brian Elwell from the Onondaga County War Memorial, where Albany leads the Crunch 2-1.
As we come down near the last 2 minutes, it's like a cardinal sin in this game in the last 1.5 minutes. The last minute of any period, you never want to be scored on. So we'll have to watch this last wind-up of the period very closely.
Ladies and gentlemen, that Albany goal was scored by number 29, Mike Buchanan, with an assist to number 33.
They finally have announced that second goal, and it is Mike Buchanan on the deflection of Brian Ralston's shot. So Ralston and Buchanan have scored for Albany. Bahanas, the first goal of the night, scored for Syracuse. Now the sides, 4 each in front of their goalies. A coin to Gerard, and he circles behind Nemesnikov. O'Coin tries to dump it in. McAlpine breaks it up and tries to cut into the zone in front. And Ralston couldn't get a stick on it.
It's a puck that I think Mike Fountain should have come out and got before the Albany player got to it.
Pulse. Nemesnikov breaks into the zone, and there's a delayed offside. 3:48 remaining in the first period. Albany leads 2-1. That's a look at John Nemesnikov. He had 1 assist in the exhibition season. Played for Hamilton in the AHL last year. 59 games at 7 goals, 27 assists.
He has to enjoy this tonight, playing in front of well over 6,000 people. Most of their games in Hamilton last year were played between 1,500 and 2,000 people.
Nemesnikov, an interesting story. 6th-round draft pick from the Soviet Red Army team in '91. Played on the Soviet Union national team as well in '90 and '91 with Pavel Bure. Nemesnikov plays the puck. Hulse to Breland. Up to Ralston. He can't get a stick on it. And O'Coin has it and wheels it out to center ice. McAlpine to Ralston. And Ralston works near side boards. Over to Hulse.
Something you don't practice this early in the year is playing 4-on-4, and when you lose your centerman or you lose one of your wingers, you're kind of not sure who's going to play where, and it's showing a little here in the ragged play right now.
Kessa into the Albany zone. Armstrong looks to dump it off to Helmer, and Helmer controls. Armstrong on the near side goes behind the net. Icing waved off when Fountain played the puck. Here come the Crunch now. Bahanas around Helmer, works into the corner. Ridden off the play. Dean comes in to help out. Puck centered in front. And unable to get a stick on it was Daryl Philippek. Helmer looks for Armstrong, dumps it into the Syracuse zone, and Tully plays it. Nemesnikov to Walker. Walker into the Albany zone. Bahanas in the corner. Looks for Philippek. Centers in front. And Kuznetsov was unable to handle the pass. Now it's cleared into the Albany bench. 2:01 remaining in the first period. 2-1 Albany.
Looking for fans with attitude. Show us your attitude and win attitude sunglasses from Empire Vision Center and the Syracuse Crunch.
The ice seems to be holding up real well. It hasn't been tested like this since we put it in early in the summer. I think it's holding up very well.
Stevens, Kuznetsov, and Bahanas, the forward line for the Crunch. Walker and Watton on defense. Fountain leaves it off. Watton plays it to the far boards, intercepted by Albany. Now Walker up to Stevens. Bahanas. Bombardier to beat. Can't do it. Ridden off the play. Pellerin out to center ice. Bakonich. Drop pass. Bombardier tried to get a stick on it. Couldn't do it. Now Watton for Syracuse. Try to get it to Stevens. Bakonich. Broken up. Stevens has a 2-on-3. Kuznetsov joining him. Stevens plays it wide. And to the far boards. Pellerin for Albany. Line change for Syracuse. As Albany dumps the puck into the Crunch zone. 1 minute remaining in the first period. 2-1 Albany. Loney past the far boards, hustling in. Tremblay gets an effort on goal, blocked by Dunham, and it's cleared out to center ice.
You saw an example of Tremblay's speed there. He's one of the better skaters on this club.
Hulse, Rayom, O'Coin, shot! Might have surprised Dunham. Now behind the net, centered out in front. Armstrong has it. He clears, and Renier works it up. Fountain behind the net. 18 seconds remaining in the first period. Here's a steal. Breland breaks in. Shot deflected by Nemesnikov. Behind the Syracuse net. Girard clears it around the dasher and out of the rink. 5 seconds remaining in the first period. And again, a little pushing and shoving. These teams testing each other physically?
Well, I think player by player testing each other a little bit here. You've got a lot of people have to gain the respect of the other team, and early in the season is the time to do it. You just if you get a shove, you give a shove. You can't take anything from anybody this time.
5 seconds remaining in the first period. Another shove by Tremblay.
Still a little chatter going on there, Doug. They haven't stopped talking to each other.
Let's take a look at what we have planned for you during the first intermission. There is a boxing champion, Riddick Bowe. Looking forward to talking with Riddick between periods. He's in our intermission studio. Now Breland, 4 seconds remaining in the period. Tully clears it out of the zone. That's the end of the first period. 2-1. Albany leads Syracuse after 1 period of play. You're watching Syracuse Crunch Hockey on Central New York 9.
We are between periods. The Syracuse Crunch inaugural game here at the Onondaga County War Memorial. A capacity crowd of 6,500 people packing the War Memorial, one of the hottest tickets in Syracuse in a long time. The score after 1 period of play, the Albany River Rats 2, the Syracuse Crunch 1. Tim Fox along with Doug Logan and Brian Elwell bringing you this inaugural game. A terrific crowd, electricity here at the War Memorial. You couldn't ask for a more exciting scene than we've seen here. Hockey luminaries like Gordie Howe, boxing luminaries like Crunch owner, partial owner Riddick Bowe, and Doug Logan will be bringing in Riddick Bowe in just a moment from the War Memorial. It has been a long time since he was played here professionally. About a dozen years since the last team here. This is the 5th trip to Syracuse for the American Hockey League. Syracuse, an inaugural team back in 1936 in the AHL. Let's send it now down to Doug Logan with the champ, Riddick Bowe. Doug?
We are at the first intermission of our hockey game in the Onondaga County War Memorial. It is 2-1 Albany, and it's our pleasure to talk with one of the investors in the Syracuse Crunch. Former heavyweight champion of the world and future heavyweight champion of the world, Riddick Bowe. Riddick, you look really good in that Syracuse Crunch uniform.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Why the interest in the Crunch, Riddick?
Well, you know, I kind of felt like it was a good opportunity and something that we could, you know, build upon.
And what do you look to build upon? What are you looking for out of this?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like a challenge, you know, starting from the bottom and so forth. And we thought this team here could, you know, give me another, you know, challenge, you know, so to speak.
You know, we saw you in a Syracuse Crunch uniform a few short weeks ago. Tell us about coming into the ring for your fight with the Crunch uniform.
Well, I thought you guys here would get a big kick out of it, and so I wore it, and I thought it would help the team out.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about where you are right now in your career?
Well, right now I'm starting to prepare for a fight against a fellow by the name of Larry Donald. It would take place December 6th. I don't know the site yet, but it'll be televised by HBO. And hopefully soon after that I can get one of them chump champs.
Now, you're training now then?
Right.
Where are you working out, and what are you trying to accomplish there?
Well, I want to get in great shape, first of all, and be at my best come December 6th for my opponent. We'll be training in New Orleans, Louisiana, with a great trainer by the name of Mackie Shillstone.
Riddick, why don't you give us a little bit of an idea of how you see the heavyweight rank right now, and who, other than yourself, are the top contenders to the throne?
Well, to be quite honest with you, I think the heavyweight division is in, you know, very much turmoil. I think guys like myself and Evander Holyfield are the true champions, uncrowned champions, and I think given the opportunity to fight one of the champions, I think I'll be champ again.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about what you do when you're not boxing? What gets you excited?
Nothing.
Really?
I pretty much stay with my wife and kids, and 9 times out of 10 I'm in the house. So, you know, I don't have a lot of hobbies or anything like that, except the Crunch team.
Well, tell us about the family.
Well, I have a wife, her name is Judy. I have 4 kids, Riddick Jr., Rhodesia, Brenda, and Julius.
Where do you live?
Fort Washington, Maryland.
Were you born and raised in that area?
No, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. I've moved to Fort Washington quite some time ago, 4 years ago.
All right, you saw the first period out there. How do your Syracuse Crunch look to you?
Well, they ain't down. They're down, but they're not out, and I think they're going to come back and win.
Well, you've been in that position before.
Certainly, certainly.
A lot of hitting out there. This team can play physically.
To be quite honest with you, this is actually my first game, and I didn't know that they can get so physical. I'm very surprised at that.
Oh, yeah, it's a contact sport, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Some of them guys should be fighters.
All right, well, your connection with Howard Dolgan, one more time, and the Crunch.
Well, Howard Golden, he did some PR work for me quite some time ago, and he just thought that this would be a great opportunity for me, so we formed a, you know, what can I say?
Well, you got a good partnership going here. You also had a chance to visit with some of the Syracuse public. What are your impressions of the town and the excitement that's generated by this hockey team?
Well, the town and the people, they're great. And if I didn't live in Fort Washington, I wouldn't move here.
All right. Riddick, thank you so much for coming by.
Okay.
Investor with the Syracuse Crunch, Riddick Bowe, with us here this evening at the Onondaga County War Memorial. All right, we'll be back with more. You're watching Syracuse Crunch Hockey on Central New York 9.
My store is my life. I've given it everything. To me, there's nothing else like it.
At Nationwide Insurance, we believe that every business is different. Each one has its own needs. You have to try
They've
to
helped me with my home and car insurance, so I knew we could develop a plan to protect my business.
The last thing Bob needs to worry about is insurance.
For auto and home insurance, business protection, life insurance, and investment options, call a professional Nationwide agent like Bill Ellithorpe in Camillus.
I switched to Norwich aspirin from Bayer for my headaches.
I switched to Norwich for my arthritis.
Switch to Norwich for 100% pure aspirin. Get all the relief at half the price.
That's why I switched to Norwich.
You're too busy for the discomfort of your period. Cramps, bloating, headache, water gain. You're not yourself. Advil and Tylenol only relieve pain. Do it right. Take multi-symptom Pamperin. Get yourself back together again. Multi-symptom Pamperin. Period relief, not just pain relief.
We're at the Onondaga County War Memorial in Syracuse, New York at the first intermission. Albany leads the Syracuse Crunch 2-1. I'm Doug Logan, and joining me during this intermission segment, Hockey Hall of Famer Gordie Howe, 32 years in hockey, the NHL and the WHA, over 1,000 goals. Congratulations, first of all, on behalf of all the fandom who love this great game of hockey.
Sure, I know, you know, a lot of funny things happen to you, and especially now the sport has gone coast to coast and as far south as Dallas, and get in an airplane and just fly along, and we start talking about, are you families? And this lady said, well, she has a young son who was playing for the AAA Yankee Club. And I said, well, we're having something in common. I have a young man playing hockey in Detroit by the name of Mark. And she said, oh, hockey, I love it. When I was in Houston a few years back, he said this old fella come up play with his 2 kids.
Oh, really?
She said, I fell in love with the game. So, yes, you find that everywhere you go.
In your 32 years of professional hockey, Gordie, 7 of those played with your sons, Mark and Marty. How incredible.
Well, I think, again, if you do a favor, it'll come back. And Mrs. Howe is always promoting, always thinking about the fans. Particularly like last year, we did 65 city tour to say thank you to the fans, the volunteers, and to benefit charity. And what happened was she threw a game on for the March of Dimes, and I went out there and skated with the boys, and it was such a thrill. I said, wouldn't it be wonderful, surreal? So when I retired, I'd given up on that. But what happened was, for a long time, it came the WHA, and my name got thrown in the hat along with Marty and Mark's, and they picked up the pieces, and my wife called me and said, I knew you wanted to play the minute of his men. She had a smile on your face from ear to ear, and it was one of the driving forces that gave me the energy at 43 years of age to come back. You've always been a great ambassador of the game of hockey. Gordie, what brings you to Syracuse? Well, my interest with Syracuse started with Steve Pesos. He's an invested interest in the club, and he said they wanted to promote it, and they wanted my expertise as far as the hockey and my name that's synonymous with hockey. So when he asked us to participate, of course we accepted. He's a great guy, and to be part of an exciting moment like tonight, it's a revamped building. They got the building looking great. They have excited young players, excited owners. You get all that going for you with a full house of excited fans. You can't go wrong. It's beautiful. I may as well ask you for sure of your impressions of the first period. Well, I shouldn't say this, but the ice conditions are not what I call favorable to the hockey player. The puck is not sliding. As instance, if you watch the whole period, there's not one guy deked by anybody because the puck is very hard to control. Now I'm not knocking the building. This is very, very common in the first day where they have to adjust to the body heat of the fans, and then all that, the fireworks and all the excitement and hoopla that goes on with the starting game. It's left to a very sweaty condition. It's like trying to run a speed race in sand. It's pretty hard to do. Gordie, obviously the Syracuse Crunch opening their inaugural season, a huge story, but a big story internationally is the NHL lockout. And you know, back in the days of the original 6 and when you were skating against Rocket Richard and the rest out there, did you ever dream that someday there'd be a lockout or a strike in the National Hockey League? No, but you know, the pendulum has swung from here to there, and it's gone right over. I just hope, well, the situation it got now is a lose-lose situation. I just hope that cool heads will prevail. You got smart men at the head of both efforts. I think if they can get together and give a little and meet him in the road, and then everything will be fine again. Because that lose-lose situation, nobody's going to be in good shape, especially the fans. They should add the third loss because they're losers too. Gordie, again, congratulations on all you do. Thank you so much for coming to Syracuse and being part of our intermission. Hockey Hall of Famer Gordie Howe. 2-1. Albany leads Syracuse. We're between the first and second periods. You're listening to Syracuse Crunch Hockey on Central New York 9.
Back at the Onondaga, we are back at the Onondaga County War Memorial with Doug Logan and Brian Elwell. The score after one period of play, the Syracuse Crunch trailing 2-1 to the Albany River Rats. We have a capacity crowd of about 6,500 people. There are people sitting on the stages here at the War Memorial trying to accommodate as many people as they possibly can. It calls to mind the glory days of the Syracuse Blazers of the NAHL here at the War Memorial, when they twice reached 200,000 fans over the course of the season. They'd have to, the Crunch would have to get about 6,000 fans per game to reach that 200,000 mark. And as hot as this ticket for this first game is, that's not a bad bet. We are standing by to bring you the second period action. Here from the War Memorial to bring you that action, here's Doug Logan and Brian Elwell.
Period. Well, it was a very exciting first period of hockey with the Syracuse Crunch coming out very, very strong, as you might suspect. Lonnie Bahanas scored early in the contest to give the Crunch a 1-0 lead, but then penalties really affected play from there, and Albany took over, scoring 2 consecutive goals. So it's 2-1 Albany. Albany at the end of one period. You're watching Syracuse Crunch Hockey on Central New York 9. Nationwide Insurance and your local Nationwide agent are proud to sponsor the Crunch and bring hockey back to Syracuse. 2-1 the score in favor of Albany, and the Crunch came out swarming.
Boy, they came out flying in the first period. They didn't get too many shots on nets, as evidenced by 8 shots for each team. But they just didn't have any luck there and made a couple of mistakes to be down 2-1.
Here's the goal by Lonnie Bahanis. It came at 4:03 on an assist from Adrian O'Coin. 1-0 was the score in favor of the Crunch.
You get an evidence here of how he can fire that puck.
Ralston scored for Albany on this shot that just eluded Mike Fountain.
They just catch Mike Fountain a little off guard here. He wasn't ready for this tough angle. He was expecting a pass, I think.
Now watch 29, Mike Vukonich with the deflection in front of Fountain. 2-1 is the score in favor of Albany as we're set now for the second period of play. Shots on goal, 8 apiece. Meanwhile, the face-offs, 11 for Albany and 8 for the Crunch.
Interesting that they lose 11-8 face-offs. Coach McElhargy works hard on those face-offs. There's another face-off win.
Crunch will shoot to our left as we begin second period play. Dean gets it out to center ice. Fountain plays it behind the net to Nemesnikov, and he starts to break out. Teams 5 aside. Girard at center ice. Over the blue line into Tremblay, and the puck squirts into the corner. Dean for Albany. Outlets to Vukonich. Vukonich drop pass to Ralston. Slap shot. Handled by Mike Fountain easily.
We notice again Mike Fountain going down to the knees with that V-shaped style with his pads. He is not a stand-up goalie. A good drop pass as Albany came over the line there. And fortunately, there's no screen here for Mike Fountain. If he's got a clear view of that shot, it's going to be awful difficult to get it by him from there.
36 seconds into the second period. The River Rats lead the Crunch. 2-1. Hulse at the blue line shoots it in, deflected to the corner by Fountain, and Kessa has it. Tully can't play the puck. Taken by Breland, and he works it to Renier. Now Breland, he's watched by Kessa, and there's a whistle and a penalty as Kessa tied up Breland and wrestled to the ice for a holding call.
I don't know. We have a look at that. I don't know if it was necessary, Doug. Dubé was in great position there to move the puck out of the zone. He didn't have to throw both arms around him. And awful close to the referee to pull one like that.
Yeah, Kessa's a 22-year-old. He played for Hamilton 53 games last year. Drafted in '91. And so once again, power play for Albany.
I think this is important early in the second period that they're able to kill this 2-minute penalty, because if they go down 3-1 here, it makes it a little difficult. These, again, 14 rookies on this club. We want to keep this close as long as we can.
Holding call at 57 seconds. Now shot into the corner. Deflected. And the face-off will be on the far side.
Good play by Mark wanting to get his stick out there and deflect that up into the crowd.
18:56. That's the time remaining in the second period. 2-1 Albany. Girard gets bounced out of the face-off circle, so Tremblay comes in along with Breland. Armstrong out there along with Renier. Hulse and McAlpine. Armstrong moves in, side of the net. Renier couldn't get it in. Out to the blue line, deflected back in behind the goal. Renier tries to play the puck along with Watton. Hulse to Armstrong. Right in front. Shot. Great save by Fountain. And the puck is cleared down the ice.
That's the save of the game so far. Great sprawling save. Again, someone standing in alone in front of Mike Fountain.
Stevens to Gerard, and he'll rag the puck out to center ice. Now shoots it back over the blue line. We have 1 minute remaining in the penalty. Kuznetsov deflects the puck. Stevens gets a stick on it. Now here comes Ralston. Ralston at center ice to Vikonich. Around behind the net. Pellerin. Checked by O'Coin. Nemesnikov to the near side board. Ralston behind the net. Ralston. Crunch position well. Vikonich out to the blue line. Back to Vikonich. Tries to pass it in the corner. Ralston couldn't get it. Now Vikonich. Out to Dean. Vikonich face-off circle. Shot. Blocked by Nemesnikov. Back out to Dean. Works it in front. And the Crunch try to clear it. Can't do it. Penalty is over. Pellerin out to Dean. Slap shot. Save Fountain. Stevens clears. Looks for Kessa, who is on sides. Kessa tries to get the puck as Dunham came out of the net. And we have a stoppage of play.
We're going to see a penalty here, which we missed, but that was an unfortunate bounce off the boards, which caught Mike Fountain by surprise.
A charging call, and it's going to go against the Crunch. Back into the penalty box, Kessa. He went in at 57 seconds, and he goes back in at 3:14. Charging call. And a 2-minute minor.
Not off to a good start here in the second period, but the penalty killing team here has been doing a great job.
Philippek, Gerard, Jackson, and Tully on the ice for the Crunch. Gerard gets the draw back to Tully, and he shoots it into the Albany zone. 2-1 River Rats. Up at center, Breland. Far side, Renier. Renier behind the net. Armstrong looking for Hulse. Gets it back down low. Renier to Breland through the crease. McAlpine has it. McAlpine in front, broken up by Tully and out of the zone. Now Ruckey. Far side, shot. Armstrong, save. Fountain.
Again, you see a good glove hand here displayed by Mike Fountain.
And here's a look at it.
Syracuse still playing good position hockey. As you see, they've covered the man in front. We play what's called a box here, Doug. You try to put yourselves into a square block when you got 5-on-4. Cover each side of the net and both defensemen at the blue line in a short box inside them. And Syracuse appears to be well coached in this area. They're playing it well.
Nemesnikov, Stevens, Tremblay out there for the Crunch, along with O'Coin. And the Crunch once again gets the face-off and clears it down the ice. 1:10 remaining in the Kessa charging penalty.
I would say this is the most offensive defensive unit we have out there. You might see a break here. There it almost came.
Boy, Nemesnikov with the big check at center ice. Now Dean across the blue line. Ralston behind the net. In front, shot, save again by Fountain, and he covers up.
Anytime you get near the goal, you'll see this pushing and shoving. But again, no one in this game, you just don't let anyone stand 3 feet from your goaltender. You've got to knock him on his fanny here if he's standing out in front of your net.
Here's a look at the replay. Ralston has really been a nemesis for the Crunch.
He almost gets his own rebound here, and it was a little late, but that's the way you got to play them. If they stand in front of the goalie crease, they've got to be knocked out of there.
We have 48 seconds remaining in the penalty. 15:34 remaining in the second period. Albany leads 2-1.
Coach McElhargy staying with Trumbley and Stevens again. Like I say, these two are some of the offensive stars. Might be looking for a breakaway here.
Meanwhile, Nemesnikov and O'Coin can both bruise you. Right in front. Armstrong, great save. He kicked it out. Fountain. Now Breland. Across to Hulse. Armstrong. Renier back to Armstrong behind the Crunch net. 25 seconds remaining in the power play. Renier on the far side. Armstrong. Nemesnikov on him. Now it's cleared by O'Coin. Boy, Fountain has come up big for the Crunch.
Two real big saves, and one in each of these last two penalties.
Long shot. Fountain stops it, and we have a whistle and a stoppage of play. And again, a little action. Looks like we have a penalty. We have 14:46 remaining in the second period. 2-1 Albany. You're listening to Syracuse Crunch Hockey on Central New York 9. Hulse and Trombley head to the penalty box. Looks like 2-minute minors. 2-1 Albany.
Well, we'll get a chance to see 4-on-4 again, and this is something, Doug, that you just don't practice. You just don't plan this in practice. It makes it a little bit tougher on the teams.
Fountain stops the puck behind the net. Walker to Bahanas. Now Walker across the blue line. Crunch looking for their first shot on goal of the second period. In front, and a score!
Great play by Walker, you know, getting offensive from his defensive position, carrying the puck up the ice, cutting right in on the net, and created a great rebound with that shot, which we were able to capitalize on. This has got the crowd turned on. This is what we needed at this time of the game. Here's a look at it.
Ronnie Bahanas with his second goal of the game. This is Walker cutting in. He just played the puck in front of Mike Dunham, and there was Bahanas to knock in the rebound. 2-2 is the score.
Walker makes the play by taking it right in on goal. Bahanas, it's called the right place at the right time. That's the way he's supposed to follow that play up.
And coming at 5:36 with the teams playing four aside. Now Walker once again past the far side. Bahanas right wing cuts in. Kuznetsov shot turned aside by Dunham. He didn't get all the puck. Watton back at the blue line, can't keep it in, and there's a whistle. There's a delayed penalty call.
Penalty coming up on the River Rats. A little more chatter from Armstrong to Walker. He'll get a surprise if he goes at Walker, because he can carry himself pretty good in fisticuffs. We might see Armstrong later talking to Walker some more.
High sticking penalty on Armstrong. Comes at 5:59. Your local Honda dealers are proud to sponsor the Syracuse Crunch.
You know, like all sports, a game of momentum here, and I think the two big saves on shorthanded situations by Mike Fountain might have just turned this whole period around. A goal now by the Crunch, and we could see another one in this power play.
Four-on-three situation. Watton, Walker, Kessa, and Dubé out there for the Crunch. A lot of ice. Watton across the blue line. Looks for Kessa in the slot. Back out to Walker, now to Dubé. Winding up, slap shot, just deflected to the right side. And the puck is cleared down the ice. 4-on-3 power play for the Crunch.
4-on-3, much tougher to defend than 5-on-4.
Walker, good head of steam on the near sidelines. Looks for Dubé, gets it out to him. Now back to Walker. Has Kessa in the slot. Dubé once again near side face-off circle. Out to the point. Shot by Watton, deflected away by Ralston, and he clears it down the ice. And we have a penalty. A little pushing and shoving once again. Dean Malcock in on the play. And the penalty door is opening up for the Albany River Rats.
I thought he called them both there. I wasn't sure if Walker got called also, but I think he gave a cross-check to Walker in front of the net.
So Malcock with the cross-check.
I think that was just after the penalty that here we got there, but it was a little cross-check. This is going to be interesting now with the penalty situation. 25 seconds on the first penalties, and Syracuse should have a two-man advantage here. Now the penalty that was just called on the River Rats will not start until the 25-second penalty, so Syracuse will have about 50 seconds on one and a full 2 minutes on the other.
Metchnikoff works it across the blue line. Stevens on the near side tries to center it in front. It's deflected aside by Pellerin. Now Dean has it. Stevens checking him. Now pass in front, deflected and goes out of the zone.
Now we start a two-man advantage for 1 minute and 49 seconds.
Penalty to Tremblay is over. So it's a 5-on-3. Dean tries to play the puck. Kept in by Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov on the near side. Turn of the boards to O'Coin. Kuznetsov in front. Deflected. Scores! Syracuse!
That's a goal. Albany are going to say he touched it above his shoulders, but his stick was not above the net. Again, Doug Wright's place at the right time. Two Syracuse players standing in front of the net in a 5-on-3. We'll continue with the power play here in 5-on-4. One man will come out of the box.
Here's the replay. O'Coin to Kuznetsov. He centered it in front. Deflected up in the air. And there's the score.
Again, they're just a case of having 5 players on 3. It's very difficult for the River Rats to defend. There's not much you can do about it. It's a tremendous advantage to have 2 men up on the other club. The first penalty with 22 seconds is waived here. He's back on the ice because of the goal. 1 minute and 37-second power play.
McAlpine now plays the puck. O'Coin has it. Bohannes on the point. Right side shot saved by Dunham. Kicked out. Still a 5-on-4 situation. And the puck is cleared down the ice. 1:10 remaining in the penalty to Malcock. Bombardier clears it. Gerard steals. Looks for Bohannes, and it's cleared down the ice. Bohannes to center ice. With Nemetsnikov, drops it off. Bohannes in the slot. Jackson. Wrist shot broken up by Dean. Now O'Coin. Nemetsnikov in the slot. Puck comes free and cleared out to center ice. Nemetsnikov deflected it away from Vukonich, who could have had a break. 27 seconds remaining in the power play for the Crunch. To Syracuse. Gerard to Bohannes. Far slot for Walker, and the puck gets by him.
And number 38, Rod Stevens. Time on the ball, 7:37 of the second period.
A They gave Dane Jackson the 3rd goal for the Crunch. Watton's shot deflected just wide. Here's a shot on goal, stopped by Dunham. Now in front. Watton can't handle the puck in the slot. Penalty is over to Melcock. Teams at 5 aside. Watton into Kessa, breaking in, shoots, scores! Kessa!
Another nice play by Kessa. Just a good example of hustle there, coming over the line, picking up that puck, not giving up even though somebody was on his back. Again, I go back to those 2 big saves that Mike Fountain made early in the period to turn this whole game right around, and he's got this whole building turned on. You can see the Crunch towels waving now. There's not much a goalie can do in a breakaway. Nice goal by Dan Kessa.
And we have a timeout. 10:24 remaining in the 2nd period. It's 4-2 Crunch.
Here's another look at the goal, hustling over the blue line. Now he out-muscles this fella trying to take him on from the River Rats and just pumps it between the legs. I think Dunham's had a tough period here so far.
Well, it came out of like an explosion for the Crunch.
So we go back to the big saves. The goalie turns the momentum around. Crunch picks it up, and they're playing now as good as we've seen them play yet in this game.
Tully shoots it in for the Crunch. Renier looks to clear. Breland. Hulse. Stoyanov with a check at the blue line. And now Philippek drops out with it. Here's Breland breaking in. Tully rides him off the play. And Tremblay has it far side. Works it behind the net. Armstrong plays it in. Breland has it. Now here's a shot. Broken up. And cleared back into the zone. Philippek out to Stoyanov. And there's an icing coming up. So the Crunch lead Albany 4-2. 2nd period. You're watching Syracuse Crunch hockey on Central New York 9. Syracuse leads Albany 4-2. Bombardier on the near side centers it in front. Fountain steers it aside. Kuznetsov out to Vahanis. Kuznetsov to center ice. Across the blue line, offsides against the Crunch.
Well, they certainly have turned it up a level since they got this game tied. They got 3 goals by the Crunch in just a little over 10 minutes. It's got this whole building turned on.
Vahanis out to Nemetsnikov, and here Albany had it momentarily. Kuznetsov. Puck deflected away by Ruckty. A coin. Now out to Bombardier. Here's a shot broken up by Nemetsnikov and cleared out to center ice. Fountain to Nemetsnikov. Now Vahanis. Vahanis at center ice. Stevens goes for it, breaks in, scores!
That's about as pretty a goal as you're going to see in this game of hockey. You could see him start breaking from his own blue line across center ice, almost asking for that puck. He picked it up and made a great play on the River Rat defenseman to sneak in behind him. That's as good a shift as you can put on a goaltender. Here it is. Puck's rolling a little bit. He steadies it, pulls it back around, pumps it in behind the goaltender. You won't see a pretty goal like that in this game, I don't think.
5-2. Stevens with the goal. 8:24 remaining in the second period. 5-2 Crunch. Gerard tries to play the puck. Helmer has it. Vakonich stolen by Loney. Loney shoots it in. Dean circles behind the net. Now Walker. Gerard in front. Watton goes for it. Albany comes away with it. Watton keeps it in. Gerard in the zone. Escapes a check there by Dean. Out of the far side, Walker. Shot. Stopped by Dunham. In front. And there's a whistle. Stoppage of play as Dunham is able to cover up.
I think Mike Fountain's got to look forward to the end of this period. He's had a tough time.
We were talking earlier with Coach Jack McElhargy, and he said you might expect the Crunch to be a little apprehensive in the first period, but look for us to get it going in the second period. That's precisely the way it's gone.
I think they got it going now. And again, I give credit to Mike Fountain for coming up big here in the second period. He's acting like a veteran here in the second period. You wonder, Rod Stevens on that goal he scored. I wondered why he scored 50 goals, 51 goals in the Junior Hockey League last year. In the Western League, he's quite a hockey player.
7:42 remaining in the second period. 5-2 Crunch. Now here's a shot. Broken up by the defense on the opportunity by Kessa. Kessa once again out to Tully. Tully slap shot. Turned aside by Dunham. Puck behind the River Rat net. Philippek plays it. Out to center ice, Breland. McAlpine works it to Breland. Renier out to Hulse. Shot deflected in front. Stopped by Fountain, and he covers up.
Nice play by Mike Fountain. I think we're seeing less mistakes. We're seeing less jitters now. I think the nervousness is worn off here, and these young men are playing the hockey the way it should be played right now.
There are 39 more games left. The tickets for the next 19 games are on sale now.
Holding call coming up against Dane Jackson.
I'd have to question that call. I didn't think that that was necessarily cause for a penalty. We don't know much about our referee yet either. Stevens is still chattering at him a little bit about that call. Again, Syracuse has come up big in the penalty killing department, and I think they'll kill this one off.
Kuznetsov tries to clear it out of the zone. Handled by Helmer, and now it's shot down the ice. Dane Jackson, who was just sent down to Syracuse after the announced NHL lockout, arrived in time to get his jet legs out from under him, and now he's skating away.
Also named him the team captain today.
Pass in front. Fountain turns it aside. 5-on-4 power play for Albany. Crunch leads 5-2. Puck shot out to the blue line. Cleared back in.
Again, Syracuse playing their positions well. You know, Albany has one more player than they do on the ice, and you still can't tell it yet in this power play.
McAlpine back to Dean. Pellerin in the zone. Vakonich shoots it wide. Kuznetsov trying to play the puck from behind. Dean out to the blue line. Here's a shot turned aside by Fountain, and Kuznetsov will clear it out of the zone. Now here's a bit of a break. Moving in Stevens. He's hauled down. No call.
You can see how knowledgeable this Syracuse crowd is. They saw the hooking there and wanted it called, and they're still letting the ref know about it.
15 seconds remaining in the power play. Jackson standing in the box. Tremblay corralled by McAlpine. Now here come the River Rats. Reel into center ice. Armstrong, right wing. Armstrong moving in, shot once again, stopped by Mike Fountain. Another wonderful stop by the Syracuse netminder with 4:54 remaining in the second period. 5-2 Crunch. You're watching Syracuse Crunch hockey on Central New York 9. ABC programs normally seen on Friday nights. Family Matters, Boy Meets World, Step by Step, and Hanging with Mr. Cooper will be shown Saturday afternoon starting at 1 o'clock. ABC News 2020, normally seen at 10 o'clock, will be seen tonight after Nightline. 5-2 Crunch. Bombardier plays it out to center ice. Now Girard for the Crunch. Stoyanov near side into the Albany zone. Girard in front, knocked away by Dunham. Renier into the Syracuse zone. Poke check by Philippek, and there's a stoppage of play.
Good call by Smith, the linesman. That just jumped over the blue line by about 2 inches, but Johnny on the spot, he called that one. Again, Mike Fountain comes up big in a penalty-killing situation. He has made one big stop in all 3 of the penalties so far this period.
Nationwide Insurance and your local Nationwide agent are proud to sponsor the Crunch and bring hockey back to Syracuse. 4.5 minutes remaining in the second period. Doug Logan along with Brian Elwell from the Onondaga County War Memorial. Jam-packed crowd standing remotely. Well over 6,000, and they've been entertained thoroughly as the Crunch lead 5-2. Simpson for the Rats to center ice. Philippek shoots it back in. Ruckty, puck broken up. Tully in front. Deflected by Jackson. Penalty coming up against Albany. Tripping call.
We've got a trip here coming up against the River Rats.
Stoyanov was going for the loose puck and got hauled down. So another power play coming up for the Syracuse Crunch. We'll take a look at the replay of this penalty on the near side of the net. There's Stoyanov getting hauled down.
There's a trip. I think Hulse brought him down.
Hulse heads to the penalty box.
Like all penalties, Hulse turns the referee and says, I didn't do anything wrong. You know, I can't ever remember a wave in the Onondaga County War Memorial, but this is the first one, and I think the crowds are getting quite a kick out of it.
Dubé on the faceoff. Power play for the Crunch. Walker back at the point. Slap shot goes wide. Jackson shoots the puck forward to Kessa. Kessa behind the net looking for Dubé. Walker out at the point. Dubé on the near side boards. Dubé closing in. Back to Kessa. Now to Dubé. Dubé back to the point. Walker. Walker slap shot deflected aside. In front. Dubé shoots. Oh, what a save by Dunham, who stuck out that glove hand and just ripped a goal away from Dubé.
I'm not sure Dunham saw that puck. He was completely screened, had that puck hanging out there on his left side. He might have just caught a piece of that.
Look at Dubé. He thought he scored the goal.
We've still got a minute and a half on the power play here. Syracuse could open this game up and put themselves in a pretty good position for the third period here.
Kessa, Dubé, Jackson, Watton, and Walker out there for the Crunch. Watton tries to get the puck free in front. Kessa, shot, scores!
Kessa put that right off the back of Bellerini standing in front of the net.
6-2 Crunch. A power play goal.
out here to a commanding lead. Here's a shot at it. Pellerini stands in front of the net, and I think the puck went off of him into the net.
Pellerin got a piece of it, trying to stand up as his goaltender, Dunham, went down. 3:16 remaining in the second period, 6-2 Crunch. Now puck in the Syracuse zone. Bahanas clears it out. Bombardier across the blue line right in front. Ruckty can't handle a bouncing puck. Now centers it. Leon can't get it. Here come the Crunch. 3-on-4. Bahanas dumps it in. Kuznetsov goes for it. O'Coin keeps it in. Now Bahanas. And we have a delayed penalty call.
I think he's calling them both there. Yeah. They're getting the sticks up a little. You know, you have to be careful as a referee now that they don't get too chippy.
2:38 remaining in the second period. 6-2 Crunch. You're watching Syracuse Crunch hockey on Central New York 9. At the War Memorial in Syracuse, the Crunch inaugural season in the Salt City. And the season opening game, delightful, 6-2 with 2:38 remaining in the second period.
This is what we might call a commanding lead at this point in the game with 2 minutes left in the second period, up by 4.
There's a shot by O'Coin. Kuznetsov wheels in front, backhander, kicked out by Dunham. Breland watched by O'Coin. Kuznetsov looks to break out. 4-on-4 situation. Kuznetsov pounded against the far side boards. And here come the River Rats. McAlpine shoots it into the Crunch zone. Armstrong has it, far wing. O'Coin breaks it up and gets it up to Kuznetsov. Now Stevens at center ice. Stevens has one man to beat. It's Hulse. Stevens wheels and is played off the puck. McAlpine out to center ice. Philippek back to Tully, and it's knocked back into the Syracuse zone. 6-2 Crunch. 1:34 remaining in the second period. Gerard knocks it free, shoots on goal, stopped by Dunham from an angle. And the River Rats head up the ice.
Again, we get to the last minute of play here, and the way Coach McElhargy wants these young guys to go now is be careful, don't be scored upon. We don't want them having any
Loney to Tully, shot stopped by Dunham. Gerard tries to play the puck behind the net. Loney back there. Gerard has it. Gerard's shot stopped by Dunham. Comes out to the blue line and out to center ice. Tully clears it back in. Line change for the Crunch. .40 seconds remaining in the period. Walker behind the net. Wheels looking for Watton. Out to Kessa. Slap shot. Deflected just wide to the near side. Half a minute remaining in the period. Out to the slot, and Pellerin comes away for Albany. Pellerin across the Crunch blue line. Played off the puck by Walker. Solid, steady defenseman.
Very steady. Surprisingly, the River Rats look a little tired at the end of this period. I think they're just hoping to get out of this and get a rest here between the periods.
10 seconds remaining. Watton to center ice, dumps it in. 8 seconds down to 7. Dean plays the puck behind the net. Konich has it. And they work it out to center ice. Hey, that's the end of the second period. And listen to this crowd at the War Memorial.
Outstanding period by the Crunch. Like you said earlier, they were a little apprehensive in the first period. Coach McElhargy knew they'd come out here in the second period, start flying, and they sure proved it.
The Crunch outscore Albany 5-0 in the period. You're watching Syracuse Crunch hockey on Central New York 9. Well, just as professional hockey has returned to Syracuse, so has the quintessential expert on hockey rules and terminology. Here to explain some of the intricacies of the game of hockey is the lovable and ever popular Peter Puck.
At this time, I'm going to talk about timing, equipment, officials, and players. Hey, cool it, fellas. I got something to say. Howdy, fans. Peter Puck here to lay some facts on you about hockey, the world's fastest team sport. Now, the playing time of a hockey game is 60 minutes, composed of 3 20-minute periods, separated by 2 15-minute intermissions. Now, to begin with, before the game even starts, I'm given a deep freeze. Whew! That's to take a little of the bounce out of my hard rubber body. Why, during the game, would you believe, I travel around this rink at speeds over 100 miles an hour. And that's pretty fast for a little guy measuring 1 inch thick by 3 inches wide. Now let's look at our field of play. It's called a rink, and not a rinky-dink rink either. 200 feet long and 85 feet wide. Almost large enough to contain 4 basketball courts. The wooden sides of the rink are referred to as, what else? The boards. And above the boards, there's shatterproof glass. See what I mean? Beneath that ice are the markings we call the center red line, and the 2 blue lines dividing the rink into a middle neutral zone and offensive and defensive zones. At each end are the goal lines with the goals themselves. They are 4 feet high and 6 feet wide. That rectangle before the goal is called the crease, and only the goalie is allowed there, unless I happen to slip in, and then it's fair territory for anybody. Whoop. Hey, wow, hey, watch it! Hey, wow! These circles and dots are used for face-offs. That's starting play. These are the players' benches and separate penalty boxes. Now about the officials. There is a referee, 2 linesmen, and 2 goal judges, plus some clock watchers and a scorekeeper. The referee, in the striped shirt and orange armbands, is the boss. He's in charge. He starts the game, calls penalties, lays down the law, and his decision in all disputes is final. The referee is assisted in his work by 2 linesmen. Same kind of uniform, but no armbands. The linesmen determine offsides, icing, some penalties, face-offs other than center ice. And they control conduct on the ice. No fighting is permitted, and offenders are removed from play. The penalty timekeeper keeps track of the player's time in the sin bin, the penalty box, that is. Now, at each end of the rink, we have another official, the goal judge. One sits behind each goal in a glass booth. When I, Peter Puck, cross the red goal line completely, the judge turns on a red light. The red light remains on for 12 seconds and is sometimes accompanied by a buzzer or siren, depending on the arena. The scorekeeper keeps score and the statistics, while the timekeeper keeps time. What else? A team puts 6 men on the ice. A center, right wing, right defense, left defense, and goaltender. And the same applies to the opposing team. Now, the game is basically simple. The 2 teams attempt to zap me. Well, there you have it. The fastest team sport in the whole world. It may be rough and tough on a puck, but love that hockey game.
Doug Logan along with Brian Elwell back at the Onondaga County War Memorial, where the Syracuse Crunch lead the Albany River Rats. The score is 6-2. And Brian, that was a 5-0 Syracuse period.
Well, like you alluded to earlier, Coach McElhardy said he'd have these players coming out skating maybe a little rough in the first period, but they came out and they just outplayed them. But then I keep going back to Mike Fountain, how big he came up early in the period. Syracuse could have been down 4-2 in that period very easily. He comes up big, makes a couple of great saves, and the momentum swings. 1 goal by the Crunch, and then there was an avalanche of goals, winning that period 5-0.
Well, the capacity crowd here at the Onondaga County War Memorial in Syracuse thoroughly enjoying this hockey game as it's 6-2 after 2 periods. And Tim Fox is in the crowd. Tim, what do you have?
Doug, Doug, I want to give you an idea just how big a capacity crowd this is. There are people sitting all along the stage here at the Onondaga County War Memorial. People part of the standing room only crowd. Those are official seats sitting there on the stage. We're going to move down now and introduce you to some of the people that are part of this whole Crunch atmosphere here at the War Memorial. Joining us now is Jennifer, part of the Crunch crew. Jennifer, let me ask you, tell me about the Crunch crew.
Well, it's a group of people that auditioned that we made it, and we're going to be the spirit behind the crush. We're going to go around and get all the crowd excited and get really into the hockey game.
We're really familiar with basketball cheerleaders and football cheerleaders. How do you cheer for hockey?
Well, we're not really cheerleaders. We go around and we help the people with their seats and just get them into the game with a lot of spirit and enthusiasm and get the crowd working.
Okay, Jennifer, thanks a lot. Good job. Let's send it back to Doug Logan and Brian Elwell.
All right, thank you very much, Tim. And a reminder, ABC News 2020, normally seen at 10 o'clock on Central New York 9, will be seen tonight after Nightline. Well, now let's take you into the 9 News studios for a news update. Here's Rod Wood.
All right, thanks very much, Doug. Great game tonight. Well, join us after the game for a look at hoopla surrounding hockey here in Syracuse. Tonight's opener had fans and fireworks welcoming the Crunch to Onondaga County's War Memorial, a spectacular start to the season. For those who couldn't make it to tonight's sold-out game, the best seat in the house, in front of the television, we'll find out how you, the viewers, are finding the first game. And the first game in the NHL is at least 2 more weeks away. The league's commissioner says it looks like the NHL is going the way of Major League Baseball.
And coming up in the weather, Doppler radar showing showers now moving across southern Michigan and adjacent southwestern Ontario. They'll be with us during the day tomorrow, but then it looks as though a cool but dry Sunday shaping up for us. We'll take a look at it.
Also tonight, a bad accident on Route 81 near Nedrow. Stay with us after the game for the latest news, weather, and sports. Doug Logan's back with more hockey from the Onondaga County War Memorial and the Syracuse Crunch right after this break.
During the second intermission here at the Onondaga County War Memorial, the Syracuse Crunch lead the Albany River Rats 6-2 after a 5-0 second period. All right, well, we talked about how it's been about a decade and a half since professional hockey has been played here in Syracuse. And Brian Elwell, you have been such an integral part in bringing professional hockey back to Syracuse. In our gala pregame presentation, you were presented with a Syracuse Crunch jersey.
I was quite surprised and, of course, pleased. You know, I didn't do it alone, but there was so many people that helped with this whole thing. I developed a friendship early here with Howard Dolgan that, I mean, he told somebody he was talking to me every day more than his wife. We got through that stage, went into a business stage, and Howard and I kind of butted heads a few times because I felt things were going along a little slow. Of course, it was just me being impatient at the time. And now we got through the business part and back to the friendship, and it's been so enjoyable the whole day today. To be presented that jersey was something I don't think I'll ever forget, though.
How monumental is it, Brian, to get an American Hockey League franchise into your town?
Well, monumental. There are so many cities that just can't support it. There are so many cities who just could not put a team of owners together. We know of so many cities who've been trying to get American League hockey teams. While we constantly plug for one ourselves, it's very difficult. Before you even want to start, you've got to be able to raise $1 million. And not many organizations or teams can just raise $1 million like Howard Dolgan could. Operating budgets in excess of $2 million for your opening season. So in this day and age, in these money times, that's not easy. And part of it was luck, finding Howard Dolgan. We were so disappointed. You know, we were very close to.
What does Syracuse have to do to keep this franchise?
Well, fortunately, you know, with the city and the county behind this franchise, this hockey club here, Doug, has the best, and I challenge anyone to match it. They have the best lease in the American Hockey League. What I think we've done here in Syracuse for the American Hockey League is we have made it difficult on Binghamton to raise the rent for their team and several other teams. We have this team sharing in concessions, sharing in profits here in our facility. We're a nonprofit corporation, but it doesn't matter if you're nonprofit or you're profit. If you want to keep a team, you're going to have to help them. No one can match this deal that this team has. So 3,000 people here in the seats can support it now.
At the end of 2 periods of play, the Syracuse Crunch lead the Albany River Rats. The score is 6-2. You're watching Syracuse Crunch hockey on Central New York 9. We're back at the Onondaga County War Memorial in Syracuse, New York. At the end of 2 periods, the Crunch lead the Albany River Rats 6-2. Nationwide Insurance and your local Nationwide agent are proud to sponsor the Crunch and bring hockey back to Syracuse.
That's been changed to number 33. The goal was scored by number 33.
That earlier goal that was given to Vakonich has been changed to Ralston. Let's take a look at the scoring in the second period. Remember, it was 2-1 in favor of Albany. Here's the first goal, and a beautiful move in front, and the shot up and in by Lonnie Bahanas, his second goal of the game. That was on a 4-on-4 situation. Then Stevens scored at 7:38 from Kuznetsov and Jackson. You see it right there. It was a 3-2 hockey game for the Crunch. They made it 4-2 at 9:36 as Walker got the puck to Kessa.
Outstanding hustle here by Kessa.
Kessa beats Mike Dunham on a power play situation.
Again, another power play, I think.
Stevens breaking in, scores 5-2 in favor of the Crunch. And then it became 6-2 at 17:44 as Kessa scores once again right in front of Dunham.
Once again, a reminder, there's a free party.
And there it is, right there, off Scott Pellerin into the cage. 6-2 Crunch.
5 goals on Mike Fountain, but I don't think 2 of them were his fault, Doug. He had a tough period. His defenseman left him alone just a few times too many.
Shots on goal, 24-20 in favor of the Crunch.
Interestingly, the Crunch were losing the faceoffs in the first period, and they came back and did much better in the second period. Shots, again, they just out-hustled and outplayed him that period.
Power play situation, 4 of 6 for the Crunch, 1 of 6 for Albany. And you've got to say penalty killing, and you've got to say Mike Fountain, 2 keys in this contest.
Just turned that period around, Mike did. He's an outstanding goaltender. We didn't see the real Mike Fountain against the River Rats the other night when they lost that game, but we're seeing a great goaltending by him tonight.
Let's take a look at the final standings from last year of the Atlantic Division. And there you see St. John's overall with 45 wins, 23 losses, and 12 ties. They were the #1 point getters last year out of the Atlantic Division.
These are the teams we won't see a lot.
Now the Northern Division, Adirondack took the division. Portland was the Calder Cup champion in '94. There's Albany, Springfield, and Providence.
That was a tight race all season long between Portland and Adirondack, but Portland proved to have the better club.
Then the Southern Division with Hershey taking the crown. Hamilton, of course, now the Syracuse franchise, finished second. Then Cornwall, Rochester, and Binghamton.
What impressed me here was Hamilton playing in front of miserable crowds in an unstable situation. They went through 2 owners during the season and still managed to stay up there with 36 wins, almost playing 500 hockey. They would have won that division with just a little more stable ownership.
Just a little bit of the excitement here at the War Memorial. These fans given the towels, as Tim Fox told you earlier, and they've had a chance to wave them in delight.
Sunday afternoon before the game, we're going to have a 3-hour carnival outside of the arena before the start of the game. There'll be rides and jugglers and clowns outside the War Memorial on the Montgomery Street side starting at 2 o'clock, with game time being 5 o'clock. There's Coach McElhargy. He doesn't look too happy there, but he's got to be happy inside after that second period. Here we go, Doug.
Underway. Period number 3 with the Crunch leading 6-2. Malcock plays the puck to Bombardier, and Bombardier breaks out of his zone. The coin breaks it up now to Tremblay. Loney back in the Crunch zone. Can't get around Simpson, and now Tremblay has it. He's hit hard by Malcock. Out to Rumey. Bombardier out to center ice. Half a minute into the third period. Ruckdy to O'Coin intercepts. Malcock shoots it in. And Nemetsnikov brings it out for the Crunch. Nemetsnikov into the Albany zone 1-on-4. Slows it up and dumps it into the corner. Tremblay plays it behind the net. Tremblay in front. Kuznetsov got a stick on it but couldn't get it by Dunham. Now Renier to center ice. Kuznetsov intercepts and clears it around to the far boards. Kept in. Here's a shot deflected wide of Fountain. Tremblay at center ice. Tremblay hauled down by Breland. No call. McElpine behind the net. Bahanas digs for it. Checked by Hulse. Bahanas in front. Kuznetsov couldn't get a stick on it. Armstrong now to Breland. Breland across the line to Renier. Renier in the slot. Broken up by Kuznetsov. Here comes Watton. Watton clears to Bahanas. He steers it up forward, and there's a line change for the Crunch. Bahanas out. Coming in on the fly, Dane Jackson. Touch up here. Whistle.
Icing
and a
call
stoppage
error.
of play.
Yes, the thing we have to watch here is that the Syracuse Crunch doesn't get too complacent here with a 4-goal lead, and 2 goals by the River Rats would put them right back in this game. But I think the young players we have here just won't get that way. They'll keep hustling this. They'd love to score a goal in their first game in front of this huge crowd.
Kuznetsov, Stevens, along with Alex Stoyanov on the ice, the forward line for the Crunch. Watton and Walker, the defensive tandem. Kuznetsov with the draw. Watton shot from the point. Stopped by Dunham through a screen by Stoyanov. Walker and Pellerin plays it for Albany. Pellerin works into the zone to the far side turn. Stoyanov knocks the ice. Sent it in front. Watton has it, and he clears. Kuznetsov, drop pass for Stevens. Stevens ridden off the play, and here comes Ralston. Ralston to Okonich. In front, deflects to the slot. Shot almost fanned on. Ralston shoots. Stopped by Fountain, who may be a bit shaken up.
I think that one might have hit him right on top of the knee. He was laying down with his pads. Might have just caught him between the top of the pad and the hockey pant. He's fine. He's skating around. He'll be all right.
Another look at it. First the fan, then Ralston, who's got a couple on the night. Puts it on goal. You can see Fountain was already down.
Already down. I was trying to see who should have picked up that man. It wasn't another little mistake there with them sneaking in behind our defense.
Malcock back at the point. Slap shot wide to the near side. Picked up at the point by Kessa. He tries to clear it forward to Jackson. Broken up. Bombardier knocked by Dubé. Bombardier circles back in his own zone. Dubé stick checking him. Philippek. Ruckdy keeps it in the zone. Ruckdy tries to get it in front. Net comes dislodged. And there's a stoppage of play. 17-19 remaining in period number 3. 6-2 Crunch.
So much nicer with those breakaway poles. You know, years ago they had metal poles and you had to hit that net terribly hard to get it off the poles. But that saves a very serious injury, and it saved a lot of injuries with these new poles.
They weren't in there when you played.
They were 6 inches high and they were screwed into the floor. Doug, the net just did not move.
Faceoffs now in favor of Syracuse. And there are your shots on goal. Dubé stays out there along with Jackson and Philippek. Here's a shot in front. Score! Albany!
You can see Coach McElhargy with his hands on his hips. That's again the Albany players right in behind the defense. Nothing Mike Fountain could do there. We're getting a little complacent. Coach McElhargy is going to have to get on these boys.
6-3. Here's the replay.
Now nothing at all that Mike Fountain could do on that goal. It's just a mistake that is early season. I hope we wouldn't see too many of those.
Pascal Ronet. 6-3 the score, 17-10 remaining to be played. 6-3 Syracuse. Dubé at center ice has the puck knocked free. McAlpine plays it. Comes back into the Albany zone. Kessa chases it in the corner. Tries to center it out. It's broken up by Hulse. Jackson circles. Out to the point. Philippek fakes a shot. Kessa right in front. Shot. Save. Rebound. Scored. Jackson.
Good hustle in behind that net. He got the pass out, a shot from that goal, got it back again and put it in. Good hustle by Jackson.
Here's the replay. Dubé again almost scored. Here's the shot by Dubé, and it just trickled by the post. Jackson got the rebound and backhanded it in.
That'll settle these young guys down now, get that back to a 4-goal lead. Nice goal.
Dane Jackson's second goal of the night. 7-3 Crunch. Now Dean to Ralston. Broken up by Gerard. In front. Shot saved. Dunham. Rebound. Loney. And it goes over the net.
Loney just shot that little
crowd. 7-3 Crunch. You're watching Syracuse Crunch hockey on Central New York 9. Well, there's a look at a little bit of a beleaguered goaltender, Mike Dunham. The Crunch have really thrown a lot of pressure on him.
Boy, they sure have. He hasn't played that bad, but he's been kind of left to the wolves, as we say.
7-3 Syracuse. We have 16-14 to go. Oliwa into the Syracuse zone, and it's cleared out. O'Coin tries to go after the puck. It's broken up. Here's Tremblay in front. Shot saved. Dunham on the effort in front by Rick Gerard. O'Coin looks for Tremblay. Ruckty intercepts. Now Oliwa. Oliwa breaking in, shoots high and over the net. Tremblay plays it out to center ice and dumps it into the Albany zone, and we're going to have an icing. Bombardier touches up.
Icing call and full line changes by both teams. I would expect to see the players get a little tired. The excitement here before the game, the long delay, may cause a little leg weariness here in the third period.
Let's watch the save by Mike Dunham.
Outstanding pass, outstanding save. Mike Dunham is not getting a lot of protection like he should be.
7-3 Crunch. Walker digs for it with Stoyanov and dumps it behind the net. On the near side, Watton out to center ice. McAlpine tries to play it in the Albany zone. Kuznetsov being checked by Hulse. Breaking out of the zone, McAlpine into the Crunch zone. There's a whistle and a stoppage of play offsides, and a little bit of action. And the gloves come off. McAlpine
and Walker. Walker's quite a scrapper here. He'll
look
take
at
care
this
of himself. He just connected with a solid left hand.
I think Riddick Bowe would be proud.
Both helmets off here. Walker just won't stop throwing them.
I'll tell you, these players have a lot of strength to go in it this long.
They have, and that is awfully tiring.
McAlpine and Walker, a couple of penalties. You're watching Syracuse Crunch hockey on Central New York 9. 7-3, Syracuse leads Albany with 15:10 remaining in the third period. Your local Honda dealers are proud to sponsor the Syracuse Crunch. Well, What do you think, Brian Elwell?
Oh, you notice hockey fights are different than they used to be. These players go at it. No one else interferes, and it's fair. Linesmen do a good job.
Walker and McAlpine, 5-minute majors. Jackson plays it into the Albany zone. Jackson bumped by Hulse out to Armstrong, and here come the River Rats. Now Breland into the Crunch zone, works behind the net, centers it out, scores! Albany!
Armstrong started that play as he came in across the blue line with a great pass.
Renier with the goal.
Renier again hustling in there, coming around the net. Syracuse defensemen have to knock these players out of that crease area. You shouldn't be able to walk in that close and get a shot on Mike Fountain.
Breland with the nice centering pass. And there's the score.
The Crunch defenseman has to pick him up as he comes back. Doug, he should not be allowed to get a shot off from standing right in front of Mike Fountain.
So it's a 7-4 hockey game. A lot of scoring. Dean to center ice. Dean over the blue line. Puts it in front. Fountain steers it aside. Helmer checked off the puck. Jackson tries to get up to Kessa, intercepted by Dean. Dean in front, deflected over the net. Ralston goes for it. He's bumped by Tully. They battle. Pellerin coming with the puck. Jackson on him. Now Philippek gets it, and there's a penalty coming up. A holding call against the Crunch.
I think that's Jackson's second penalty. He's got 2 goals tonight and two penalties.
He hauled down Pellerin after Pellerin had lost the puck.
Syracuse, what time is it?
Jackson 2-minute minor.
I like your attitude.
This coming with 13:57 remaining to be played.
It'll be interesting to find out from Coach McElhargy why he named Jackson today his team captain.
Renier and Breland dig for the puck in the corner. Mesnikov and O'Coin come away with it. Tremblay now taken back by the River Rats. Cleared out to Bombardier at the blue line. Out of the far side. Renier brings it out to Bombardier. Back to Renier. Broken up by Tremblay. Can't get it out of the zone. Now high stick called. Stoppage of play. There'll be a face-off deep in the Crunch zone.
I think the River Rats can see an opportunity to get back in this game with a goal here. Syracuse is going to, it's very important to kill off this penalty, but I'm sure Mike Fountain will come up big again.
Nationwide Insurance and your local Nationwide agent are proud to sponsor the Crunch and bring hockey back to Syracuse. Coach McElhargy talking with Yannick Dubé on the bench. Still a lot of instruction going on during the game.
There sure is. Every time a line comes off or the next line's ready to go out, Coach McElhargy be telling the line that's ready to go out what he wants them to do. The line that comes off, if you made a mistake, you'll hear from it from the coach.
1:26 remaining in the Jackson penalty. 7-4. And as Brian said, a must-stop situation for the Crunch, or Albany will be right back in this hockey game. Here's a shot from the face-off circle, deflects wide. Now behind the net. They look to center. Breland back to Romay. O'Coin rides Renier off the puck. River Rats have it. Breland drops it back. Bombardier can't stick handle.
Great job by Gerard. Great job.
Gerard clears.
Plate position well that whole shift.
Romay to Armstrong off his stick. Philippek has it behind the Crunch net. And he'll send it up the ice. Kuznetsov doing some forechecking. Now Ralston breaks out. Ralston near side, dumps it into the corner. Driving forward is Vucinic. Out to the point, Helmer. Pellerin down behind the net. Now Dean in front. Shot broken up by Stevens. Rebound right in front. Pellerin couldn't get a stick on it. Filipek plays the body. Out to Helmer. Helmer slap shot. Save. Fountain covered up. Score! Albany. It's a 7-5 hockey game.
Mike Fountain's not happy with that. He thought he had that covered. River Rats kept poking at it until they pushed it through his legs. He's not happy at all with the referee.
Here's the slap shot by Helmer right in front. Pellerin just dug at it and slipped it apparently between the legs of Mike Fountain.
I think Fountain thought when he lost his balance here that they should have blew the whistle. But you can see the puck might have been in the net a little earlier than that. Well, we got ourselves a hockey game here, 7-5 with 11 minutes and 55 seconds left. I don't like what's happening here. We're going to have to get the Crunch to settle down. That was not a power play goal. The penalty had just expired, too, as that puck went in the net.
Now the Crunch had a 7-3 lead, 6-2 and 7-3. Now it's a 2-goal game with 11:45 to go. Bahanas, near side slap shot, just getting a piece of it was Dunham, and he deflected it to the far side. Now Simpson to center ice for Albany. In front, Ruckty, shot, scores! 7-6.
Well, I think we've just let down a little here, Doug. I think Coach McElhargy's about to get very upset. That one there, skating in alone, just shouldn't happen. I think we've had some defensive lapses here that is a sign of the young players. We're getting Jackson back out here, the team captain with a little more experience. We might see Coach McElhargy go down to 2 lines here for a while to settle everyone down.
And I think the Crunch wants to talk it over. We have 11:26 remaining. You're watching Syracuse Crunch hockey on Central New York now. How does that scoring summary look?
You know, this is professional hockey, and you're just not supposed to lose the 4-period 4-1 after the first 9 minutes. I don't know what's happened here, but Syracuse has to turn this around.
Bombardier behind the net. 11:15 to go. 7-6 Crunch.
This is a point in the game where a coach might say, okay, next goal is going to win this game.
Jackson over the blue line looking for Kessa. He was skating the other way. Now Armstrong with a break. O'Coin back to break it up. Fountain plays the puck to O'Coin. Now Jackson. Kept in by Hulse right in front. Armstrong. Deflected. In front. No goal. The referee says the puck was kicked into the net by Sergei Breland.
I think it was pretty obvious he kicked it in. That's fortunate for the Crunch he kicked it in because he was standing there completely alone in front of the net again. I just don't know what's happened to our defense here. We've just collapsed, allowing these New Jersey players, just the River Rats, to get in alone on poor Mike Fountain here.
Breland just mishandled the puck, and he directed it into the net with his skate, and it was immediately waved off. Robbie Fatorik.
That's a break for Syracuse. Robbie Fatorik has got this club playing pretty well in the 3rd period.
We still have a long way to go, just inside 11 minutes remaining. 7-6 Crunch. Out to center ice, Bahanas. Looking for Stevens. Puck bounces into the Albany zone and is cleared out. Stevens tries to play it back. Breland gets it to Armstrong. Tully back on defense as Fountain plays the puck into the corner. Filipek out to center ice. The pass misfires.
Going to have an icing call here.
Touch-up icing against the Crunch.
Even though that puck crosses the line, comes back through the goal crease, as long as the goaltender doesn't touch it from the time it's released, it'll still be an icing call.
Show their ticket stub at any Little
This 7-6 Crunch lead is a mirror of the last exhibition game against Albany on Monday night when the River Rats beat the Crunch 7-6.
Again, for me, not quite a mirror, as we had a 4-goal lead a short time ago. That's the scary part here.
Draw to the River Rats, and the puck is cleared. Stevens breaks out 2-on-2. Stevens and Bahanas. Bahanas picks it up offsides at the blue line.
Good stand-up defense there, not allowing Stevens to cross the blue line without putting himself onside. Just the normal thing there, you stand up, look the opposing player in the eye, don't look at the puck, and you can stay with him and keep him out of the play.
We have 10 minutes even remaining in the third period. Face-offs now even. Well, shake of the head says a lot for Jack McElhargy, the head coach of the Crunch.
I think we'll probably see a lot of Walker playing on defense now, because he's been, I think, on the blue line, the most steady one here that we've had. That 5 minutes he just spent in the penalty box might have hurt the Crunch. Coach McElhargy talking to associate coach Fraser here about what he thinks.
Coach McElhargy, 42 years of age, in his 4th year as head coach of the top minor league team for the Vancouver Canucks. He's been 10 years now in the Canuck organization. Played 8 years in the National Hockey League with Philadelphia, Hartford, and Vancouver.
I think we've got a situation here with a stick check.
Meanwhile, it gives us an opportunity to take a look at our television schedule of Syracuse Crunch games on Central New York 9. Sunday, November 6th versus Cornwall. November 10th against Prince Edward. On December 11th, Providence. December 18th, St. John's. And January 8th, Binghamton. Check your listings for starting time. The majority of these games will start at 3 in the afternoon on Sunday.
Doug, we've got a situation here where the Albany River Rats have asked to check one of our players' stick. Kuznetsov's stick is being challenged that the curve in that will exceed a ½ inch. And the problem we're having is no one has a ruler here tonight. They have a special ruler that's supposed to be at all the games to check that, and I think they're trying to find wherever it might be. Now what happens here, Albany River Rats have challenged this stick. If this stick is found to be not legal, Syracuse will have to put a man in the penalty box for 2 minutes. Albany gets the man advantage. If this stick is legal, and this should not have been challenged, the Albany River Rats will be shorthanded for 2 minutes because they'll incur the penalty.
They're holding the stick against the boards and measuring it. This seems like a rather imprecise science here.
That's not the correct measuring stick they normally use for a stick. I think the stick is legal from here.
Now they're showing the Syracuse captain, Dane Jackson. This is the stick of Yuri Kuznetsov. And it looks like we have a penalty coming up.
Well, by them placing the stick in the penalty box, tells us it's not legal.
Well, the stick is being put out of play. Now Kuznetsov, who's over at the bench, had a stick in his hand, and he's just changed it.
Yeah, Coach McElhargy has just assigned someone to serve that penalty. Now, this is unfortunate. We've got Tremblay, I think, going to the box. No, we've got number 11 here going to the box. Kuznetsov, it was his stick.
So Kuznetsov heads off to the ice for 2 minutes with an illegal stick.
10 minutes left in the third period.
I don't know if you noticed, but the interesting thing is Kuznetsov was standing over there with another stick, and then when that first one was declared to be illegally bent, he changed sticks again to stick number 3.
Stick 3. Well, you won't see that called too often because the day of a game you're supposed to check all your sticks. Some of them they'll just warp over time, but I'm surprised that he had an illegal stick.
So it's a 5-on-3 man advantage, 5-on-4 in front of the goaltender for Albany. 9:45 to go. 7-6 Crunch. Third period action.
I think even the Crunch knows how critical this particular shorthanded situation is. This is essential that they kill off this penalty.
Gerard, Tremblay, O'Coin, and Kuznetsov make that Nemetsnikov out there for the Crunch, and we have a whistle and a stoppage. Offsides the call. 9:26 to go.
I think the puck was touched with the stick over the head. You're never in this game supposed to have your puck above your shoulders. Any contact with the puck will cause a whistle.
Syracuse penalty to number 11, Yuri Kuznetsov. 2 minutes for using illegal sticks. At 9:10 of the third period.
The crowd is pretty silent on that call because I don't think I've ever seen it called in this building, Doug, and the crowd are a little shocked.
O'Coin dumps it out to center ice. Power play for Albany. Dean to the far side. Ralston clears it around and behind the net to the near side. Pellerin gets it around O'Coin. O'Coin checks him off the play. Side of the net, out in front and out of the zone. Ralston tried to center it out to Helmer and split Helmer and Dean. 1 minute even remaining in the penalty. Dean to the near side, watched by Gerard. Ralston wheels at center ice. Stick check by Gerard.
Good play. Complete change here. Fresh troops for the Crunch.
Center ice, Armstrong. Past the far side. Ralston has it. Ralston by the boards. Out to Bombardier. Back to Ralston. Here's a shot. Broken up by Fountain. Clear to the far side. Ralston to Bombardier, and it's stick checked away by Kessa. Kessa to center ice controls. Kessa dumps it in the zone with 18 seconds remaining in the power play for Albany. Renier to Armstrong. Across the Crunch blue line, looking for Breland. Back to Bombardier. He tries to dump it in front. Watton comes up with it.
Back to even strength, Doug.
Kuznetsov out of the penalty box. Watton pounds it down the ice. It comes out of the zone. There's a whistle and a stoppage of play. We have 7:51 remaining in the third period, and the Crunch now clinging to a 7-6 advantage.
I think both coaches for the Syracuse Crunch have to be relieved that they got through this shorthanded situation because it was very critical. Back to even strength, 7 minutes 51 seconds. I think Syracuse needs the next goal. Kuznetsov is over there now trying to decide what stick to play with. He didn't like the one that was a little bit too straight. Maybe stick number 2 has a little more curve.
Face-off draw once again to Albany. Filipek dumps it out to center ice. Hulse has it. Hulse to the near side to Ruckty. Shot wide of Fountain. Filipek tries to play the puck up. Ruckty comes away with it. Ruckty behind the net. Here's a centering right in front. Fountain is down. And I was wondering if he was shaken up, but he looks to be okay. And now the puck goes over the glass on the near side. And in fact, Fountain is a little bit shaken up.
Might have caught a stick in the mask there.
Three saves in the ball game for Fountain. 7:22 remaining.
Mike Fountain has played a heck of a hockey game for me. He's an outstanding goaltender, and I'm impressed even though they have got 6 goals. Most of them were not his fault.
Nemetsnikov to O'Coin. Gerard at center ice tries to get it up to Tremblay. Vukanich plays it. Nemetsnikov. Loney on the far side. Back behind the Crunch zone. Crunch a bit disorganized. Pellerin in front. Ralston turnaround shot. Whistles wide. And the Crunch control. Loney plays the puck out to center ice. Crunch very much on the defensive here. Helmer. Loney tries to break it up. Trumbley plays the puck with his right hand, and it's dumped back into the Syracuse zone. Metsnikov. Renier has it, and he clears to the far side. Bombardier.
When play gets a little tight, you'll notice it stay in between the blue lines.
Renier in front. Looney comes away with it. Now Bombardier. Here's a break. Gerard. Gerard in on goal. Slap shot. Saved by Dunham. Bombardier to Armstrong to center ice. Walker plays him off the puck. Linesman goes down. Walker has it. Back to Watton. Watton checked off the puck by Renier. Now Breland behind the net. Watton plays it to Kessa. Kessa trying to get it up to Dubé. Dubé at center ice. Hooked off the puck. And Renier comes back to control. Kessa into the Albany zone. Puck hasn't been there much the last few minutes. Hulse plays it forward. Now Breland. Breland at center ice. Oliwa dumps it in. 5:22 remaining in the third period. 7-6. Crunch. Puck third out to center ice and all the way down into the Albany zone. As it's touched up, we have an icing call with 5:12 to go. 7-6 Crunch. Between periods, we had a great airplane toss to benefit the National Kidney Foundation. Hockey fans had a chance to win a 1995 Saturn SL1 from Sam Dell Car Stores, as well as consolation prizes from Adirondack Soda and Klondike Bars. Specially prepared paper airplanes were thrown from the stands, trying to guide them to the sunroof of a Saturn. And if you got one in, you're eligible to win a car. Oliwa knocked down by Filipek. Kuznetsov comes away with the puck. Stevens to center ice to Vahanas. Looking back for Stevens. Vahanas gets a stick on it. Played by Dean. And Dean, who's been a pillar of strength, gets it out to center ice. 4:38 to go. Shot back in. Vahanas in front. Looking for Kuznetsov. Couldn't get the puck to him. And now it's clear down the ice. This will be an icing call against Albany with 4:25 remaining in the third period. Crunch 7. Albany 6. You're watching Syracuse Crunch Hockey on Central New York 9. We have a great weekend of sports action on Central New York 9. Saturday afternoon, 3:30, we'll be at the Carrier Dome as the Virginia Tech Hokies with their number 10 ranking head into the Dome to meet the Syracuse Orangemen on Central New York 9. I want to pass along a special recognition to Steve Cronquist, the general manager of WYXT 9, with the original announcement with Howard Dolgan of the televising of 5 hockey games. The two sides got together and said, hey, opening night is a sellout. Let's put this game on as well for the great hockey fans of Central New York. Hope you're enjoying it. 7-6 the score in favor of the Crunch with 4:08 to go. Tremblay works it into the zone. Pellerin steals. Ralston plays the puck at center ice. Now it comes free. Inside 4 minutes to go.
What you can't do at this stage of the game is try to sit on a 1-goal lead. It can cost you, Doug. You try not to sit on it. Keep playing offensive. The best defense is a good offense here.
O'Coin dumps it in, and there's going to be an icing call. No, it's touched up by Dunham. Breland up to Armstrong. Armstrong has a little bit of an angle, but Walker hustles back to break up the play. Breland has it. We have 3:26 to go. Armstrong in the corner. Armstrong tries to work the puck in front. Side of the crease. Smothered by Fountain. And we have some pushing and shoving.
Remember,
2:15 to go. You mentioned that it's impossible for the Crunch to try to sit on this lead and expect to do it successfully, but it appears that's precisely what they're doing.
Well, they've got to play offense. I think Coach McElhargy now is planning a strategy for the last 3 minutes and 19 seconds. And I think he's aware you can't sit on it and just play defense. You've got to play a little offense and try and keep the puck in the other team's end. Otherwise, you end up making a mistake. It's happened many times. We've got a young club here, but I think they're settled down. Coach McElhargy's talking to the next line that's out there now.
Play back in now. Tully plays it out to center ice. Kessa dumps it in. 3 minutes to go. Dean at center ice dumps it in. Filipek plays it out to the blue line. Can't get it out. It's kept in. Boy, all alone in front was Romay. And once again, Fountain falls on it. He gets hit hard by Matt Ruckty. Tumbles to the ice, and once again the referee holds up play. Tully and Simpson doing a little sparring in the slot.
I think it's good by Mike Fountain not to take any chances. He could throw that puck behind the net, try to toss it over to one of his defensemen to get it out of the zone. But being as good as they are at the faceoffs, he's willing to settle for a faceoff in his own zone.
Watch Fountain get whacked there by Ruckty.
He's had a tough night.
We have 2:39 remaining in the third period. The Crunch lead Albany 7-6, and it looks like we have a penalty coming up here. Misconduct. Penalty against the River Rats, and they're going to talk this one over for a bit. Let's go down to the stands and Tim Fox.
Doug, I think you can see some of the electricity in the crowd here. This crowd has come to stay. Very few empty seats here late in the game. It's been a terrific hockey game. I think we've seen a cross-section of basketball fans, football fans, Syracuse Chiefs fans, and a lot of people who probably have never been to a hockey game before in their lives. It's been about 12 years since there was hockey professionally played here at the War Memorial. Everybody has had a tremendous time. Everybody has really enjoyed the whole production and all the excitement here in the game, and I think a lot of these people are going to be coming back. Let's go back to the booth.
Well, everybody's going to leave the War Memorial very, very pleased if the Crunch can hang on here.
I don't know what Rickey might have said to the referee, but he got sent off for a 10-minute misconduct, and he certainly wasn't happy about it. Robbie Fatorik is extremely upset right now, screaming out there on the ice at the official. We've got, of course, there's no man advantage here. It stays even.
Hulse banished for the remainder of regulation. McAlpine knocks it in. And in fact, it is. Here's a shot. Score! Albany has tied this game up with 2:21 remaining.
Boy, this is disappointing. Disappointing, Doug. Again, Mike Fountain can't be blamed there. It was a tough spot. Here we get a look at the replay. Player standing right out in front of our goaltender. Left alone here in front of the net. Armstrong was just standing there alone. It's pretty tough to ask Mike Fountain to stop and make these saves.
So a 7-3 Syracuse lead has been erased. Bill Armstrong scoring with 2:21 to go, and it's a 7-all game. Gerard over the blue line to Stevens. Puck in front. Gerard got it just wide to the near side. Stevens behind the net out to Walker. He dumps it in. Bahanas watched by Breland. Out to the blue line. Stevens in the slot. Tries to pass it in front. Couldn't get it through to Bahanas.
Albany goal by number 10, Bill Armstrong. Assist number 20.
Yeah, it was Matt Ruckty with the misconduct. Behind at center ice slips and falls. 7-7 the score with 1:43 to go. Icing waved off as Walker plays the puck up to Stevens. Off to Gerard. Gerard dumps it into the Albany zone.
Change is getting a little quicker now.
1:29 to go. Puck to center ice. Filipek dumps it out. Dean looking for Pellerin. There comes Filipek. Kuznetsov. Vucinic plays the puck. Filipek at the point dumps it in on Dunham. Tully keeps the puck in the zone. In front, Looney can't handle it. 1 minute remaining in the third period. Pellerin across the blue line. Slap shot. Fountain with the waffle save. Now Tremblay out to center ice to Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov slap shot wide to the near side. Hulse looks to play it out to center ice. Stolen in behind the net. Loney gets a stick on it, but it's deflected wide. Tremblay keeps it in the zone to Loney. Loney playing it with the skates along the boards. Comes out with it. Loney, 22 seconds remaining in the period. Nemetsnikov has it go beyond the blue line, and he clears it back in. Line change for the Crunch. 12 seconds to go. Nemetsnikov keeps it inside the zone. Kessa to Gerard. Gerard tries a stick handle through McAlpine, can't do it. O'Coin, 4 seconds to go. Shot. Great save by Dunham to keep this game tied at 7.
That is the second time he's pulled that glove save out from the left side. 1 second left in the game. I thought we were going to eliminate overtime here. Just a tremendous save. Tremendous save.
Oh, my. 1 second remaining in regulation.
Don't forget the party in the Hotel Syracuse at Mario's Ballroom. Little George and the Hungarians. Free admission.
And there's the faceoff, and there's the end of the third period. 4 straight goals by Albany. 7-7 the score at the end of regulation. Overtime coming up on Central New York 9. We are at the end of regulation at the Onondaga County War Memorial, just as the Syracuse Crunch had that incredible 5-0 second period. The third period has been Albany coming back from a 7-3 deficit to tie this game up at 7 as we get set to head into a sudden death overtime. Who has the advantage, these two teams, at this point, Brian?
Well, I think the team that has come from behind to tie the game is the team with the momentum. I don't know if the save that the River Rat goaltender Dunham pulled off there at the end of the game gives them an additional. But right now I'd have to give the momentum in this game to the River Rats, who are on a roll here in the third period.
O'Coin with a glittering opportunity to win the game with 1 second remaining in regulation.
I think O'Coin thought the game was over on that shot, but unfortunately it was picked off.
Statistics: shots 37-32 Syracuse, saves 30-25 for the River Rats. Face-offs in favor of Albany, and the power plays the Crunch. The better the two teams with the power play advantage. They're 4 of 7. Albany 1 of 7. 5 minutes put on the scoreboard clock. If there's no scoring in the next 5 minutes, this game will go down as a 7-7 tie.
And we have sudden death, which always makes any hockey game exciting. I prefer, I think, sudden death overtime to a shoot-off, Doug.
Tremblay, Loney, Nemetsnikov, Gerard, and O'Coin. The 5 players in front of goaltender Mike Fountain as we are into sudden death overtime.
Syracuse has their best offensive line, I think, out here right now. They may go with 2 lines, too. I'm not sure if Coach McElhargy will stay with all 3 lines in the 5 minutes.
Gerard centers in front. Hulse knocks it away. Gerard gets it back. Now to Tremblay. Shoots. Dunham plays the puck. Loney stick checks it away. Gerard works in the corner. Now it's out to Armstrong, and O'Coin keeps it in. Now beyond the blue line. Gerard knocked off his skates. Renier. Nemetsnikov keeps it in. Now Holst tries to play it up to center ice. O'Coin takes Ralston's body and then takes the puck. Loney. And now Nemetsnikov sends it around the boards. 1 minute into overtime. 7-7 the score. Nemetsnikov tries to play the puck. Comes free and he knocks it away. Look out, Ralston. There's a whistle. And a stoppage of play as the net is off its moorings.
Well, momentum is so important here, and I think if the Crunch can spend a few minutes in the Albany River Rat zone here and stay settled down, stay focused, they might be all right.
9 News, 11 at 11 will immediately follow the conclusion of tonight's hockey game. 3:49 remaining in overtime. 7-7 the Crunch in Albany. Kuznetsov gets it up to center ice. Stevens couldn't find it. Fountain plays it to Walker. Walker up to Bahanas, now up to center ice. Bombardier after it along with Stevens. Bombardier comes away with it. Pellerin. Bahanas keeps it in the zone. Bombardier circles behind the net with 3:25 to go in overtime. Bombardier dumps it in. And the Crunch break out. Stevens to center ice. Stevens to the blue line. Hit hard by Aliwa. Knocks his stick free. Kuznetsov steals the puck. Tries to center it in front. Paulson Bahanas battle for it. And it's taken by Dean. 2:56 to go in overtime. 7-7 the score from the War Memorial in Syracuse. Crunch and the Albany River Rats. Walker behind the net. Philippek. He brings it up to Bahanas. Bahanas hit hard on the far side. Now Simpson over the blue line with Romay. He shoots, kicked out by Fountain. Philippek behind the net to Bahanas, and Bahanas looks to bring it up. Bahanas dumps to center ice. Dubé has it. Dubé over the blue line. Dubé slap shot just wide. Jackson digs for the loose puck. Philippek shoots, deflected by Dubé with a high stick. Albany is able to clear, and they knock it down the ice. Goes through the crease, so icing is waved off. Kessa looks for Dubé. Dubé to center ice, tries to get a pass back to Jackson, can't do it. 2 minutes even remaining in overtime. Armstrong. Now McAlpine dumps it in. Tully behind the net. Jackson goes for it. Armstrong has it. Dubé plays it to the near side, and Kessa. Kessa works it to center ice. Skated away by Breland. 1:35 remaining in overtime. Another line change for Albany. Kessa on the near side. Kessa tries to break it in. Dean plays the puck with his skate. Gerard keeps it in to Kessa. Kessa moving in. Can't get a shot off as Pellerin got it. Loney in front, shoots. Saved by Dunham. And the puck comes out to center ice.
That was a great opportunity with 1:15 left.
Nemetsnikov hauled down. Here's a shot broken up off the stick of Kessa. Loney behind the net, tries to center, in front. Oh, and Gerard couldn't steer it in. 1 minute remaining in overtime. Ralston into the Crunch zone. O'Coin comes away with it. Clears to Gerard. Gerard over the blue line. Slap shot stopped by Dunham. And it's cleared to the far side. Gerard to Kessa. Kessa tries to muscle in front. Loney has it, looking for Kessa. Knocked free by Dunham. 39 seconds remaining in overtime. Puck out to the blue line. Walker keeps it in. Slap shot deflected, goes over the net. Loney digs for it. Kessa, far side turn of the boards. 25 seconds to go. And the River Rats come out to center ice. Pass to Armstrong, broken up by O'Coin. 18 seconds to go. 7-7 the score in overtime. O'Coin can't play the puck off the boards. 10 seconds to go. Fountain clears to Loney. Loney, puck deflected and stolen, shot saved by Fountain and cleared out of the zone, and the game is over. A 7-7 overtime tie.
Well, I'm sure that Syracuse Crunch coaching officials will not be happy with a 7-7 tie, but it sure beats a loss, Doug. It's a nice start. These guys are young. This was a very difficult night. They did all right.
The final score, 7-7. The Crunch and Albany River Rats. Our nationwide player of the game is Rod Stevens for the Syracuse Crunch with a couple of goals on the night. 1 goal on the night. Our nationwide insurance star of the game, Rod Stevens. All right, final thoughts.
Well, I guess we give an honorable mention. They did real well tonight, a couple of players, but not to be.
Hope you enjoyed it. Syracuse Crunch Hockey on Central New York 9.